It's time for the late night boxing talk. Shout out to my man Drew with the super duper chat. All these Showtime lovers mad at Ryan versus Tank news and still mad Canelo picked his own over PBC. I forget that a low intelligence is a byproduct of boxing being a poor man's sport. Well, I would say that y'all might notice I had to trim down the beard a little bit. I'm starting it over. I want it to be nice and even for Valentine's Day, in case y'all wondering. Out here with the 4 o'clock shadow, not even the 5 o'clock shadow. And I mean, I saw Broadway Joel's tweet, which caught my attention. On what planet is Charlo Benavidez a better option than Golovkin? On what planet? And on what planet are those fighters more formidable than Dmitry Bivol? Like, on what planet? Jermall Charlo's struggling to make it past the Juan Montiels of the world, and never mind 168 because he never fought there. David Benavidez, he want to stay in the kiddie pool, even though he belong in light heavyweight. He want to stay in the kiddie pool and fight guys that Canelo beat already. He don't want no problems with nobody at 175 because if he did, he'd be up there. You know what I mean? You running around doing all this for an interim belt, not even a real belt, an interim belt. You doing all this. You writing notes in your phone. You reading them out to the audience like it's a show and tell, like it's a book report. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know I do be looking young when I shave. I do look young. It literally take like maybe 10 years off my face. But I ain't out here trying to look young. I'm trying to look old and bitter. Just saw that tweet and responded. Yeah, yo. I dig it, Jules. The missus don't want to. Y'all cats is wild. Yeah, I don't look a day over 44, yo. I'm old out here. Nah, for real though. Yeah, like I seen Broadway Joel's tweet, and it was just nonsensical. Like, fam, like them dudes kind of just live in a bubble. I really believe that. Like, a lot of them guys that really love PBC, like for real, y'all live in a bubble where y'all don't see that people is not watching this stuff. Y'all don't see that people don't want this. You know what I mean? They live in a bubble. Because at the end of the day, Golovkin is a bigger name than David Benavidez and Jermall Charlo combined. Them dudes wish that they could fight the Gennady that Canelo fought. They wish. They wish. You know what I mean? That's the first thing. The second thing is, neither one of them two dudes got a better resume than Bivol. Neither one of them two dudes. We gonna pretend that they do? What you gonna do? You gonna start talking about your little eye test? The Eddie Futch thing? Like, well, I think. Well, I don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks. What I know is that Dmitry Bivol has 9 title defenses against solid fighters. That's what I know. I know that. I know he's bigger than Charlo. I know he's more proven than Benavidez. I know Benavidez been down more times than him. That's what I know. I know that. Never mind what people think. I'm worried about what nobody thinking. I only worry about what I think. You know what I mean? The shit don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. At the end of the day, what it really is, I honestly feel that they resent Canelo because he don't need them. They resent Canelo because he's going to make money regardless. He moved the needle and them guys don't. That don't even mean that I wouldn't want to see him fight them dudes. I would rather he fight them dudes than fight Bivol again. I would rather he fight them. Why? So we can end these hype jobs and run them out of here because that's what they are. Shout out to my man Drew with the super duper chat. Nello and AJ getting equity. That's above Showtime, aka Weasel, and PBC pay grade to approve. Canelo made his deal as a businessman who's already a Hall of Famer. PBC equity is worth 0. That's the other thing. You want him over there to do what, bro? His fights is going to be pay-per-views over there. His fights is going to be pay-per-views at the Zone. The real shit is, if Canelo made Jermall an offer, would he cross over? If Canelo made David Benavidez an offer, would he cross over? If Canelo made Demetrius Andrade an offer, would he take it? Because I would honestly rather he fight them than Dimitri for a second time. I would prefer those fights. Don't get it twisted. I don't really want a Bivol rematch. I want Bivol to fight better Beef. I can't stress that enough. I want Bivol better Beef, and I want Canelo to take care of them hype jobs because that's what they are. I'm tired of pretending that I don't know no better. Jamal ain't fought nobody in years. Demetrius ain't fought nobody. I ain't knocking him, but I'm saying like who he fought. That I'm supposed to look at them and be like, oh, well, that's all right. Them dudes is hype jobs, bro. All three of them. And I would prefer that Canelo defend his belts as super middleweight against them than go back and fight Bivol. I would prefer that because them dudes, like, what we really talking about, fam? Who did these dudes beat that anybody should be high on them? Who? I would prefer he fight them. The Zone going to pay-per-view platform won Canelo over the PBC and killed the PBC. Yeah, because they try to convince you. If you go on Twitter, which is very much insulated, boxing Twitter, you're going to run into the same people over and over again because it's an insulated community within a community that doesn't even really represent all of the boxing community. Not all the boxing fans is on Twitter arguing all day and all that shit. Not all of them are on there. The people that actually pay cash money to see boxing. No, not all of them is on there. That's just the same people over and over again. It's insulated. That shit is not a real reflection of what's going on in the real world and who really spending money. Because if you go on Twitter, they'll say A, B, C, and D about Canelo. But all I know is when he fight, more people show up to his weigh-in than they show up to their fights. That's all I know. And I ain't crazy. Did you see the King of Cap is upset that nobody came to him for information? That was funny. Who you talking about, bro? I don't even know. Shout out to my man Beats. I'm trying to get you on here, Beats. Only PBC fanboys will sit on Twitter and believe they know more about the boxing business than former pros like Oscar who made it to the top. That's another thing, B. Oscar know how to groom fighters. Oscar know how to promote fighters. How do I know that? Who promoted the biggest draw in boxing for years? Oscar. Granted that their relationship is not what it was, but he did that. And now he got another kid that he grooming, Ryan, who's a bigger draw than most PBC fighters. Mike Copinger. Oh, all right. Yeah, I seen that, Luis. I seen that. That's what we're going to talk about a little later on. I got my screenshots and all of that ready. And it's silliness. Like when it comes to the Canelo kid, the real reason they hate him is because Al Heyman is powerless to stop him. He can't control him. Canelo don't work for him. He don't need you. He really don't need your fighters. I would love to see him beat up your fighters because if he beat them up, what you got? What you got? I would love for Canelo to slap the shit out of all them guys because I'm tired of them. I'm supposed to pretend that I'm hyped for a damn fight that y'all could have did fucking 3 years ago when they had belts. Y'all motherfuckers is clowns propping that dumb shit up. Them motherfuckers should have been for it. And the fact y'all hyping that cornball because this dude wrote a note. Because he wrote a note and put styling grease in his hair. Man, get the fuck out of here, B. Dumbass shit. Boxing not a biz when it comes to AJ or Nello. You know what I mean? They get mad at all the A-side moves, but then it's okay for Spence to A-side Crawford. But when a real A-side doing some real A-side shit, oh, y'all don't like that. You know what I mean? The shit is corny, bro. Like, that's why you don't see me arguing with them dudes no more. Because I'm like, bro, what am I talking to your deadbeat ass for? You're not going to convince me that the Zone is too expensive, but you out here paying you finna pay $380 for 5 fights? Just 5 fights. Bro, who you fooling, bro? You fire sticking all this shit. I don't need to motherfucking talk to you. All them motherfuckers, like on some real for real shit. A lot of them guys on there is bums. Like, fam, y'all don't pay for none of that shit. Just keep it real. I'm supposed to believe that you over here complaining about an annual subscription that don't cost no more than $100 or a little over that, right? You want me to believe that you ain't got it for that, but you got it for 5 pay-per-views over 5 months, 380 cash. Because ain't nobody else out here putting on more pay-per-views than the PBC. You want me to believe that that's not value for money, but that bullshit is? No, I know what it is. You steal all that shit and you act like you a customer. You steal all that shit. Because a motherfucker that's paying for shit ain't going to prop up that bullshit. You shouldn't have to pay. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have to pay pay-per-view prices for Benavidez versus Plant. You shouldn't have to. That's an ordinary fight. That's not even a title fight. That's an interim fight. You know what I mean? And we about to get it on. Let me open up the panel to the chat. We gonna get it on. Everybody, please allow each other to speak. Y'all see that I'm on my young shit. I shaved my shit because I want my shit nice and even for next week. So I shaved my shit. Gonna eat some pussy. I'm just playing. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You know what I mean? We got Julio in the building, Drew in the building, Country in the building,
Hey,
in the building.
I just gotta say, Jules, it's a bad day for them. The DAZN Matchroom schedule dropped. AJ's not on pay-per-view. Canelo said, Bevo said he'll come to 68 because he wants undisputed. Oscar now A-siding them because they got the leverage with Showtime about to go under. Taylor Serrano 2 announced, Jules. It's a bad day for PBC lovers.
All right, now I want to start off with that. I want to start off with the Ryan Garcia thing. This is, the fight is in jeopardy. It may not go down. And do you guys feel, my understanding is based on what I've seen, that Ryan's not asking for a rematch clause. He's not asking for that. The real hang-up is if Ryan wins, who's the lead promoter? So I'm going to start off with Julio. Julio, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's just classic. There's a common denominator every time these fights don't happen or are in jeopardy of not happening. It's that fucking side, man. And listen, if Ryan wins, of course the rematch should be the lead promoter of the rematch should be on DAZN. It's only fair. And they're not even the ones asking for the rematch. So it's just same shit, different day.
Okay, let me go to Drew. Drew, what do you think about that? Ryan's not actually asking for a two-way rematch clause. The hang-up is who's the lead promoter if Ryan wins.
The problem is I know Oscar is listening to the show. I got that on good authority. He'd be listening to this shit. And all they're doing is asking him to take the same deal Wilder and Fury took. What's the problem now? What's the problem now?
Do you think, Drew, do you think they'll take the deal? Because this is the thing. Bad enough that Ryan already had to concede to a catch weight, which I think is unnecessary because Gervonta was cool fighting Barrios at 140, but when it's Ryan, you want it at 136 like a little bitch. That's the first fucking thing.
First of all, I don't think this fight's gonna happen. Second,
that's what I wanted to get at. You don't think this fight is gonna go down?
No, for a few reasons. One, Oscar knows what time it is now. Oscar knows that they have the leverage. They'll take a little egg on their face if they pull out. Now we're going to go in a different direction because at the end of the day, long term, Tank needs them more than than Ryan needs him. Second, if they don't want to agree to these terms, they can kick rocks and it's egg on their face. Or let's say Oscar and Ryan agree to that term, but then they ask, okay, if we win, we want 70% of the pot now, since you guys want to keep the pay-per-view and on that side. Either way, the counter negotiation, this fight ain't happening.
Let me go to Country. Country, you know what the scoop is? That basically, Ryan's not asking for a rematch clause, but they want to know that if he does win, it'll be a Golden Boy show instead of a PBC show. What do you think about that?
Well, if Ryan wins, it should be a Golden Boy show. This is more PBC bullshit. I agree with Drew. I don't think the fight was going to happen. I said it a long time ago. As much as I would like to see it, I wasn't going to hold my breath. And this is coming to proof that it's probably not going to happen because some bullshit popped up because of Al and the PBC. I mean, personally, I think they're full of shit. I mean, now if you know what, why if Ryan should win? Now this is hypothetical, of course, because there's people going to argue it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If he wins, why should PBC be the lead promoter if their boy lost? That makes no sense whatsoever.
It's a very good question.
And I think a real quick point to add to that, Jules. We always notice that when anytime a PBC fighter has a monicum of thinking they're the A side, this shit happens. For example, look at Fulton and Nue. They damn sure know he ain't got no leverage. No way he could say he the A side, so he's getting his ass over there.
Well, I will say I'll say this much. Gervonta has a bit more leverage in this situation than Fulton does over Inouye. It's a bigger disparity between Inouye and Fulton, and credit to Fulton if he does the fight for doing what he has to do. This situation is a little different, and my thing is, okay, Ryan's already conceding to a catchweight. What more do you want? You know what I mean? Like, do you want this fight or do you want to fuck this up?
They want it at a disadvantage. That they're always like that. That's their pattern. They did it with Spence. They're doing it with Tank. They're doing it with everybody. They want their opponents at disadvantages. Look what they did to Crawford.
Let me read the super chat. Virtuoso said, do these cats need Blues Clues to figure out cost efficiency between two? I think they do, Virtuoso. I really think
the reason why I brought that up is because Broadway Joe's tweet about Canelo being on PBC over the zone. Like, they just announced that Joshua versus Frankie is not going to be a pay-per-view. What are the possibility that this John Ryder cat, this one might not be a pay-per-view, or other fights can be? They pick and choose. Canelo's still going to get his money up front.
I'm glad you brought that up. I want to talk about that a little later. Right now, I want to deal with this. Let me read the super chat. Jules, I just canceled my Showtime subscription since the PBC is done. I got to say I'm glad because they wasn't worth it for the last few years. Yep. I want to add to that, I've actually been contemplating that. The fights that I'm getting on Showtime, on the network, because I don't actually watch the channel. I only really watch HBO Max and my Amazon Prime whenever I'm looking for a certain movie, or Disney Plus with my kids. I don't really watch shit on Showtime. And when you think about the boxing schedule they have, what we talking about? Ray Vargas versus O'Shaquie Foster? Like, come on, B.
Underwhelming.
For real. So, Virtuoso, you see what's going on, and you see that, all right, it's not even that Ryan wants a rematch clause, even though I think he deserves one, but it's not even that. It's the lead promoter. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's kind of selfish because it comes down to one thing only, and that's in-house money. If they don't want to be the playing visitor in case Tank loses, then it goes to show that you don't have any hope that this guy beats him. Or it's like there must be something wrong because it has to be the money.
That's a very good point, that if they want to be the lead promoter for two fights, it's because they don't want to be in a situation where they're not in control of all the money. That's a very good point. Let me go to Michael. Michael, what do you think about it?
Sorry, 1 second. What do I think about the fight not happening?
Well, that it's in jeopardy now.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, at this point, they better make that fight. They better do whatever it takes to make that fight, because the entire world thinks this fight is actually happening, and boxing really does need a mega fight right now. If it doesn't fall through after all, like that, when it went viral, when they signed or supposedly signed, it went viral. So, if this doesn't fall through, it'll be a really bad look for boxing. So they better figure it out. I don't know. I never thought this fight was happening in the first place, but I don't know.
Okay, let me read the super chat. George says, fantasy fight, Ryan Garcia. Bro, De La Hoya would kill that kid, bro. He'd kill that.
Really?
Fucking kill that kid. Let me go to Beats. Beats, first question for you, because I never actually got to ask you this. Did you ever believe that this fight was going to happen?
No. Deep down, no. And when you hear about the Paramount situation, it's dead. It's dead. As far as I'm concerned. You see, these fights here, man, you feel the enthusiasm if you know it's going down. You just don't get that. You feel the negative. Who's going to be the lead promoter and this? I just feel the negativity. anytime a big fight goes to the PBC, like, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, I just feel the negativity. That's all I feel.
Because
You know
everybody
what I mean?
feels like it will never happen.
And
As long as when a
sorry to cut
PBC
you, bro.
fighter gets involved, you know the shit's not going to be easy to get made.
Sorry to cut you. I'm sorry about that. Right. But here's the thing,
let
man.
beats cook.
When you look at Fury and Wilder, right? All 3 fights are in America. Why didn't this guy come to Wembley to build a fan base for the PBC in the UK? You know, like Al Heyman. They talk about Al Heyman, the Messiah, right? He had the Poxon deal with ITV. He done 1 card. And that's it. And then they want to talk about the zone. Like, I wasn't blown away by the schedule, but when you look at it, right, Eddie's in Italy, he's in Australia building fan bases and building fighter rosters and stuff. Like, there's no comparison. There is no.
Well, let me add to your points before I pass it back to you. The main thing that gets me, and I literally said it's a power play, not but 3 or 4 days ago. If you put Joshua on regular DAZN, I don't care what Devsani says on Twitter. I don't care what none of them Fury cocksuckers say on Twitter. That shit is going to drive their subscriptions through the roof in the UK. For that month, they going to make money. Believe it. Even AJ's biggest critics is going to subscribe. Believe it.
And I'll add to that, Jules. You go back-to-back months. You put AJ on there and Canelo. Like, come on. Like Beats was saying. Eddie's doing what Dana White did once he got the UFC. I got to go into all these markets. I just got to put on fights. I got to develop the market. I got to get the fighters knowing, like, look, if you got the goods and you can sell a few tickets, I'm coming. And that's what they don't like. They don't like that this man is actually trying to grow the sport. The schedule ain't fucking great, but we still got Golden Boy schedule. We still got a bunch of other shit.
The truth of it, let me say this before I pass it to Beats. The truth of the shit is, if they wanted to gouge the boxing fans by billing Joshua versus Franklin as a pay-per-view, they could have. They could have. If they wanted to, they wouldn't have got 1 million buys for the shit. They probably would have got like 300,000, somewhere around there. But if they wanted to bill that as a pay-per-view, they actually could have. What communicates health for their platform is that they're not billing it as a pay-per-view. They're not desperate. Like, no, we'll give you this one. We'll give you this one. This is a power play. You can have this one. The next one, granted, it'll probably be a pay-per-view. The next one. But this one, you can have it. Because it's going to drum up subscriptions for us anyway. Everybody in the UK is going to buy it. Well, I shouldn't say buy that fight. I should say subscribe for that month. Because it's cheaper than a pay-per-view. It's cheaper than buying a pay-per-view. I think in the UK it's what? £20 for the month, or is it less than that, Beats?
No, it's $7.99 right now, and like
exactly.
Wow,
$7.99.
That's what I'm saying.
Fellas,
Yeah.
The hike is coming soon, and like obviously, if you buy the £99 package, it's $9.99.
But
here's
fellas,
the thing.
real quick,
quickly.
pass that up.
where did the
time, fellas? Go ahead, Beats.
Right? I done a poll if it's pay-per-view worthy, and it was heavy. You know what I mean? Like, no. Right? It was like 70% no. But here's the thing, right? Most of them people, and I ain't got proof, most of them people who said no don't like the zone. They don't like AJ. They wasn't going to buy it anyway. They're not going to buy subscription, right? So let me tell you this, Jules, right? The only reason AJ and Franklin is not on pay-per-view is not because, oh, well, we're not going to sell pay-per-view. No, that's not why they did it. AJ has a built-in fan base who is going to do at least 400 every time that motherfucker puts on gloves and goes in the ring. They did it to like, it's a sweetener. It's a sweetener.
Thank you.
That's what it is.
Because that's what I thought when I seen it. Like, if I look at it, forget Eddie, because it's above Eddie. I don't even think that decision is his decision. I think that's Joe Markowski's decision, to be real with you, and the people above Eddie. And I think they looked at that and said, you know, we could get a lot of subscriptions not billing this as a pay-per-view for that month. Our subscriptions that month will go through the roof just because it's not a pay-per-view. Now, you see that Tyson Fury, late last year, literally charged people to watch him spar Derek Chisora. The fucking nerve it takes to do that. We ain't going to do that. We ain't going to gouge you. We going to give you this one. We're going to give you this one. It's cheaper than that shit was. And you know you want to see it. Don't lie. You know you want to see it. Because if he get knocked out again, you want to see it. And the people that fuck with him, the people that like him and support him, they want to see it just because it's him. So it's a lot of childish shit that I'm like, bro, that's the smartest shit they could have did. And I wondered, are they going to build that as a pay-per-view? Because there's an opportunity here to grow the subscriber base. And I don't know if they see it, but there's an opportunity here. Give it away.
And here's how to confirm.
It's a genius move.
If people
They took it out of the stadium, right? It's not going to a stadium. It's a genius move. They're putting it in the O2, so that way they don't have to worry about paying a whole load of money for the stadium and selling a whole load of tickets, and they can just give this one on the subscription. Like, it's a genius move, man.
But also, it's just like it's an entire schedule of great fights that don't need to be pay-per-view. That's what boxing needs. And I don't understand how people are complaining about this. It's ridiculous.
I'll tell you what. Here's the thing.
Wait, one at a time. I think the smartest thing they could do in America, give away Canelo versus Ryder. Give it away.
Yeah, let Canelo have that one. Yeah. We've been loyal.
Let Canelo make 15 million. You know, because he can make that just off of general principles, and you can pay him that just off of general principles. Give that one away. Yo, your subscriptions in America, they're going to shoot up. And those are going to be very encouraging figures moving forward. They're like, wow, we can really play with this. We don't have to stick to one way of doing things that, everything has to. No, everything doesn't have to be a pay-per-view. You know that the market value changes fight by fight. So don't put yourself in a position where, we got to try to break even. No. Give that one away. You'll make up for it in subscriptions. You got 500,000 people that pay pay-per-view for the Bivol fight. Motherfuckers don't want to accept it, but 1 million people bought Canelo versus Golovkin. They did. You can't lie on an official press release. That's different than Mike Kopinger spreading a rumor or Dan Rafael spreading a rumor. If on the official website they're telling you we did 1 million with that, and out of that 1 million, 800,000 of it came from America, believe it, because you can't lie on an official press release. This motherfucker did 1 million with an overcooked, over-marinated Golovkin fight. That was a dud. So just imagine if it's not a pay-per-view, the kind of subscriptions you could bring in.
People get a taste of it, they get hooked, and next thing you know, they want to get on the service.
That good crack. That good CIA crack.
Let me tell you.
Look, they can afford to do that. They've got the big.
This is how I know that.
Sorry, go. You go.
This is how I know they're paying both Canelo and AJ in equity. If you read the reports from the last CEO if you read the last report from the overall CEO, they have a plan to go public in 5 years.
Listen. Right. AJ, everybody forgot that the deal that AJ signed ahead of the Usyk rematch. It's not just I'm just some fighter. That dude he got equity in the company, and he's part of some project to help grow the platform or some bullshit.
Him and Canelo.
He's an ambassador.
We're past the I'm just a fighter. No, that dude is a brand ambassador, bro. Them PBC kids don't know nothing about that. Canelo know about that with Hennessy and all them other endorsements and sponsorships and all the other bullshit he got going on. AJ Ben knew about that. He been the big money. And that's really why motherfuckers hate him, though, because y'all tried it with Wilder and y'all didn't even buy his last fight.
What sponsorships does he have? Everlast. That's all he has.
Who don't have Everlast though? What boxer don't have an Everlast?
I'm sponsored by Everlast.
If you a boxer and you don't at least have an Everlast sponsorship, come on.
That's a default sponsor.
I mean, okay, I know some of the endorsements that AJ's under. I know he's under Beast by Trey. He's on the
Under Armour. He's got Hugo Boss.
The Lynx Range Rover. He got that.
Range Rover.
Was it Under Armour?
Beats by Dre.
Let me read the super chat. Shout out to my man Giancarlo Gonzalez. I appreciate you. You didn't have to do that, but you did it, and I appreciate
by the time he had the Dylan White fight, he already had Under Armour and Range Rover.
Listen, can I say this? People don't understand this when I say it, so I'm going to say it slow. Before this dude even fought for a title, he was worth enough money that he could pay Charles Martin $7 million. Think about that. Before he fought for a title, before that, he was already worth so much. He could pay this dude more than Wilder was making, than every other heavyweight was making at the time, except for Klitschko, obviously, but Klitschko had lost to Fury. That's how much money he was worth then. How much more money do you think he became worth over time? Beating Martin, beating Parker.
Wilder's mandatory was Everlast.
You know what I'm saying? So where we at now, I feel personally the next power play in America, what they should do, give away the Ryder fight. Give it away. You can give Canelo 15, 20 million. He's good for it. He's good for that. Like, you'll get it back. You'll get half of it at the gate, and the rest of it will come from the subscriptions. Just give him a piece of the subscriptions. But I guarantee you, you will.
That's it, for me, brother. Appreciate it.
You will get a whole fuck ton of subscribers in America.
Is that going to Mexico? Is that fight going to Mexico?
That's that's one of the places I heard it might go, but I also heard Saudi Arabia. I also heard the UK. So it's in the air where
I'm hearing Mexico, and if it's in Mexico, the government might help subsidize for his purse. But
Azteca Stadium, bro. Azteca Stadium.
Jules Beats.
That's the thing, man.
They say the zone's dead, but where did the biggest stars in boxing fight on?
Well, but that's why I said that they live in a bubble, like on some real shit. Whoever went to high school in New York, like in the 90s, y'all ever heard of the block program? They make you sit in a class, all the kids that's dumb, can't pass nothing, can't even be
They
trusted.
call that resource room.
They call that resource. I was gonna say.
In the block program, they put all the badass kids in the block program. How do I know? I was in the block program. And in the block program, if you ain't retarded, it's only a couple of ways you get there. You either a fucking retard and you can't pass nothing, or you keep fighting. I was there for fighting. I was a very violent child. I'm not going to lie. I'm a very happy person now. I'm a different person now. But I was a very violent child. Bang. I was in a block program, and it's insulated, like the block program, that y'all don't get to go and talk to other people. Y'all got to stay in that class all day. Y'all got to eat lunch. Literally, we was eating lunch in the class.
Oh, man.
I'm not kidding, bro.
I know the feeling, bro. I know the feeling.
Did they give you the white paper bag or no?
Bro,
Hey, man, was Rolly in there having lunch?
Listen, they was timing us. We had to go downstairs to the cafeteria, get our lunch, and be upstairs by a certain time. Because obviously, you in the block program. They can't just let you in the Gen Pop. If you in Gen Pop, you going to get into fights and shit. They ain't not going to do that in the block program. Like, you got to come upstairs. You got 15 minutes to get your lunch and come back upstairs.
So you went to class with Rolly?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Rolly was the one serving lunch.
Well, his calligraphy is great, right? But so I feel boxing Twitter is a parallel of the block program because of how insulated it is. That I really think they believe the shit they say. They believe the shit that they tell each. Like, you really think the zone is dead, bro? Like, don't you see that they just expanded to 200 something countries? Don't you see this man doing shows in Australia, shows in Spain, shows in Milan, shows in Uzbekistan?
See, but it's the investment, man. Like, no one in America invests. Like, I've been making a big deal recently about Conor McGregor, right? You want to put up 500G, and the government are willing to assist Katie Taylor to put that fight on, man.
Beats,
you know
oh my, yo, listen, Beats, when you made that video, dog, and that shit, listen, man, if you are not subscribed to Boxing Beats, and I'm telling you, subscribe, because, listen, you hit the nail on the head, and that's the cold, hard truth. When push comes to shove, why didn't Deontay finance something for Clarissa? Why didn't Floyd? All this fake love, because all I see is fake love. It's all good when it's all talk. But when push come to shove, you telling me you can't finance a homecoming fight for Clarissa Shields? The way that Conor is willing to finance a homecoming fight for Katie?
Let me tell you something, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You see in
Yeah.
Ireland, right?
Do a
You see in
date
Ireland.
together.
You see in the last week, right? Parliament have taken that in the data. Parliament have taken up Katie Taylor's case.
And that is true about Floyd.
Parliament.
Like, that really is fake love, especially because they buy clothes from the same person. So it's like you couldn't, like, you couldn't hook her up with like an undercard.
No more hateration. Floyd got them boots.
Yo,
Them
and I
I
saw
tell you
people.
what, right? You see, right now in this climate with women's, Clarissa Shields could be the trump card for the PBC. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be a dude. She could be the trump card.
Well, that's also one of their biggest failures is that they never got into women's boxing like that.
I'm going to say this. There's a proliferation of female fighters right here in America, right? One is Raquel Miller. I'm going to be real with you. She's a fine motherfucker.
She is.
She is a fine motherfucker. And if you smart, you understand that men are going to want sports, but you need other ways to sell it. And eyes is eyes. Right now, what you need is eyes. You got a fighter like that could really, like, she's a great boxer, by the way. It's not even like just on no gimmick type shit. Like, she can fight, bro. She come from the same amateur class as Franchon, as Clarissa, as Tiara, as Marlene, as Michaela. She was there with all of them, so she can fight. And I'm like, if Al's smart, listen, bro, you got guys, they want $1 million every time they get out there. You can get Raquel, probably ain't gonna cost you but maybe 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, the max. Let's say for a unification match or something like that. 400,000 with 300,000. You need to do. Who Mike is that? You need a stable of female fighters. One, because that's the wave right now. That's where everything is going. That's the wave. And two, it's actually cost feasible. It's cheaper than trying to do fights for Danny Garcia, who don't nobody give a fuck about anyway. It's cheaper than doing fights for Keith Thurman, who don't nobody give a fuck about anyway.
And you
don't care about them guys.
You go see fights that people actually end up wanting to see because of all the good fights they've been seeing lately.
You know, like their whole pay-per-view schedule it reeks of going out of business sale.
Exactly.
Because they're just throwing shit against the wall.
Bro.
Let me ask you this, Jules. I know you've been critical of how AJ and Eddie negotiate with that side. If you have 5 minutes with Oscar De La Hoya, what do you tell him to do with these motherfuckers?
Honestly, what with the PBC?
With the PBC and the shenanigans.
I would tell him, listen. Oh no, I would tell him, listen. You're gonna structure the deal the way we want it, or we're walking.
Why don't we go after Devin?
Because why is Oscar being so high?
If you listening, they don't have a substitute for Ryan. Now Ryan can turn around and fight Tommy Tomato Can. The kids that like him still gonna like him.
They have more leverage. I think people are like running. They're up to it with Javante. Like they actually want to see something at this point, and I think they have leverage in that regard.
The pattern is established. Remember, Wilder versus AJ didn't happen. Spence versus Crawford didn't happen. Motherfucking Benavidez versus Plant, y'all should have been for it. Leo versus Russell, y'all should have been for it. If you can't deliver this after you put so much on it for so long, you're going to lose the little bit of shit that you got. Fuck Twitter. In real life, you're going to lose the little bit of shit that you got because you ain't got much.
And I think that's what initiated this fight in the first place. Like they can't keep putting on Gervonta against anybody like that. Like they can't do fucking Gervonta versus Hector Luis Garcia 2 at this point.
No,
people aren't buying into it.
Can I just say this real quick? Just when I want to root for Oscar, he goes and says some fuck shit like this right now about the AJ fight on Twitter.
What did he say?
Rick Glazer says like, "Oh, this is a good scrap. It's not pay-per-view," and then Oscar goes like, "You'll probably be the only one watching in the United States."
I mean, listen, Oscar don't like Eddie Oscar don't like Eddie for obvious reasons. You know what I mean? And I'm still rocking with Oscar. Don't get it twisted. Because when Oscar's on his shit, you can't promote better than him. When he's on his shit, like if he get on his shit, you can't outdo him. He's too charismatic. And I'm gonna say that if I got 5 minutes with Oscar to tell Oscar, yo, this is what you should do. Threaten to walk. They can't afford to lose this
fight. I disagree with you slightly on that, Jules, right? See, when Oscar was at Golden Boy, they were very effective, but that's because of Richard and the other cat, man. Oscar's.
I'm gonna say that Oscar has a loyal enough following right now that he could pull himself out of this bind. Believe it or not, I would sooner expect Golden Boy to be able to pull themselves out of this rut than PBC, because Golden Boy has groomed champions before. They have. Golden Boy knows how to groom fighters much better than the PBC. The guy that's outselling everyone right now was groomed by Golden Boy. They can do it again. They just need the financing. That's really it. They just need the financing, and they just signed a couple of kids 2 weeks ago. So I'm gonna look at them. They got the Floyd Schofield kid. I was watching him the other day. He's a good fighter. You know what I mean? So what I see is, look, if I'm talking to Oscar threatened to walk. They cannot afford to lose this fight. If they lose this fight, think about it, Oscar. What the fuck else do they have?
Yeah.
Wilder versus Ruiz.
Yo, Jules,
that
let me
shit
ask
ain't
you
gonna sell nothing. That shit ain't gonna sell. I'm like, I'm being real.
Oscar could turn around and be like, you know what, fuck it. Hey, Teofimo, what you doing, bitch?
For real.
They haven't made no headway making Ruiz versus Wilder. Can I just say, so what is the hottest fight right now on the PBC? It looks like Plant versus Benavidez is their hottest fight.
And that's not a hot fight. Like, all that shit you see on the internet, all that shit you see on the internet, and I don't say this to knock Clarissa, because Clarissa's a damn good fighter. And I think that's what she's confused about. She gets confused when I talk about fake people as opposed to talking to her. You know what I mean? But this is what I mean. All that shit is fake, bro. The buzz that fight has, yeah, that's fake, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be lucky to hit 300,000 bars with that fight. All that shit on the internet. It's a pay-per-view, my guy.
Hey, where were all Jules? Where were all the Chicano fans for that presser? I didn't see none.
What do you think I'm saying? When Canelo fought Bivol, who nobody knew, it was still a fucking army of people at the fucking weigh-in. An army for that fight. They don't even know who that man is. They probably never seen him before. But because it's now we got to show up and show out. Where was the army for David? I only heard like maybe 30 people cheering and clapping, because I could tell, bro. Ain't that many people there. And most of the people there are from press row. Most of them.
And 10 of those people is Ellie Archback.
Community show up.
Hey Jules, are we correctly registering the decay of tolerance of boxing fans? What I mean by that is, like, Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, that it went too long. Okay, we all saw it. So now let's say we take a year off of it for the next fight. The next fight being Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. That we take a year off the tolerance again for now. Davis and Garcia. Are we registering that people are just getting fed the fuck up with the bullshit, and now it's being less and less that you can marinate a fight?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, yeah, because let me say this. Fights have a life of their own. Pacquiao versus Mayweather only survived for 5 years because they had other superstars to fight. Manny had Marquez, who had a following, and Cotto, who had a following. The same with Floyd. You know what I mean? They had other people that they could fight in the interim that would still make very good money. That's the only reason that fight survived 5 years without going down. The same is not true here and now. It's not like they tried it with Errol fighting everybody but Crawford, and all that did was kill the fucking fight. That's all that did. The fight ain't bigger. Your buzz ain't better. You done been in car accidents and your eye falling out and all this crazy shit. You going to Dubai?
Going to Dubai.
Nigga.
Yeah, like if Tank's next opponent is Chris Colbert, I don't think they can fucking sell that to people.
Yeah, that's what I think
people
I'm saying.
are checking out at that point.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, fam. I think that
whatever,
dropped so much. The tolerance level has dropped so much that even a Wilder comeback fight is only getting 77,000. Everybody is getting low numbers because the tolerance level is like, get the fuck out of here. Dog.
Thank you.
And I think that's what's brilliant about like Matchroom's new schedule is that, like, yeah, these fights are actually really good fights, but they don't need to be on pay-per-view. Like, and then they just came off Serrano Cruz. That's like an aperitif for before eating some good pussy. If you look at the rest of their schedule.
Now let's talk about eating some pussy. No, I'm just playing. The way this shit, the way this shit is, and the Wilder comeback was the dead giveaway. That look, you know, if y'all really fuck with him, y'all gonna fuck with him. Robert Helenius or somebody else, y'all gonna fuck with him. The way that everybody fucked with Mike when he came back with Peter McNeely. But no, you not Mike, bro. You not that guy. You can't do that because they just put you out there and less than 100,000 people bought your fucking fight. Less than 100,000, bro. They don't fuck with you like that. All that shit on YouTube, all that shit on the internet, That shit is fake, bro.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
real.
they weren't upset with Mike before he got locked up. Before Mike got locked up, he was knocking people out doing good things. So they wasn't upset with Mike. So when he came back, they was waiting for him and they showed love. But when Deontay Wilder, his whole career been garbage.
Well, Mike is a cult. Mike is a cult hero.
Yeah, because he fighting everybody. He fight 8
Wilder
out
is
of
not
the
an
top 10
icon.
contenders.
Yeah, you got to
No,
put him in
not
there
icon.
with somebody
No,
if you
not
want me to
icon.
pay. Sorry.
For real though.
And he did it to himself, but not being funny, right? Like the media he associates with, like they're never going to help you break through.
Let me say this. This is the disconnect, right? And this basically encompasses all the isms and eccentricities. If you a public sports figure, you need everybody on your side, whether you like it or not. And if you get on some, I'm just for the Dominicans, that's it. That's a very small audience. If you just on some, it's just for all right, that's a very small audience. I'm just letting you know. You need the money to be green, irrespective of where it comes from. Whether it's coming from Chinese fight fans, Japanese fight fans, Indian fight fans, American fight fans, British fight fans. You need all of that. And Wilder shit, it's like, fam, you alienating a lot of people with the kind of shit you want to know. Low key, like you are. And the other thing, if it's not that, it's that there's a lot of people like me that see through you. Like, bro, you a gimmick. You a gimmick. For real legends, none of them move like you. None of them.
Right.
See, real legends in boxing, the Foremans, the Fraziers, the Alis, the Nortons, the Holmeses, the Tysons, the Holyfields, the Lewises. Yo, look, Bruno get a lot of shit, but Bruno fought Oliver McCall. Bruno fought Lennox Lewis. Bruno fought Mike Tyson. As soon as you stepped up, you got your motherfucking ass handed to you.
Yep.
As soon as you,
because he was
the day he started twerking, he jumped the shark and embarrassed himself.
Yeah, not even on no funny shit.
No heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I blame his promoter.
On some real boxing shit, Evander's whole cruiserweight career doesn't get talked about because he was that good at cruiserweight, though. He was the dude. He was the dude. The top 5 cruiserweight in the history of cruiserweight. He was the dude. So much the dude, he went to fucking heavyweight. You not like that. You never did that. And you've been in the game since 2008?
When his own team referred to him as a baby champion. My man,
you got
the WBC belt. How are you a baby champion?
I don't even want to get stuck in the Wilder bubble because essentially what I'm saying is that's why the love is fake, because you're fake. The people that's propping you up, it's not enough of them. I'm sorry, no, it's not enough of them.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
The only time you saw anything was with who? The Englishman. Other than that, you don't draw, bro. You didn't sell out when you fought Brazil, and that was the height of your popularity. You was coming off the draw with Fury, and people did like the fight. It was exciting, but that was the height of your popularity, and you didn't sell out when you fought Brazil. You didn't.
It's tank-headed the same way.
You said it numerous times, Jules. In America, if you don't get the Chicano fans to support you, regardless if you're Chicano or Mexican or not, you're not going to cross over. Heavyweight. No, heavyweight is a different. What I'm saying, listen, let me finish. Say it happened with Manny. If it happened with Floyd, what I'm saying is just to be a casual consumer of your product. Not saying overwhelming support.
All right, let me go. Heavyweight don't work like that.
You're right.
Heavyweight don't work like that. Heavyweight is the one division where if you the guy, the world know it.
Yeah, it's the anomaly of anomalies.
See what he's saying there. Like, when Mike Tyson was coming up, he fought Tony Tubbs in Tokyo, full out, right? And he lost his title in Tokyo. And if he had won, he was planning to come to the UK, and because he was a global icon, man.
When you the guy, and don't get it twisted, not every heavyweight champion was the guy, you know? Not every heavyweight champion was the guy. But when you're the guy, the whole world know it. The whole world know it. It don't matter.
Bro, that footage of Mike Tyson walking through Brixton and just random people just wanting to see him.
Right? You see when he went to Brixton, right? Everyone turned up. Like it was lit. Like they had to put him up in the police station. They had to put Mike up in the police station because
Right.
everyone turned up.
Now,
Everyone.
now Wilder will walk through Lennox. Wilder could walk through 142nd and Lennox right now. A lot of
And
people
they wouldn't even know who he is.
Who the fuck is that? Why
They
is
wouldn't know who
You know what?
Who is that?
Some people will know what he is, but like I remember when Fury like literally did the Man on the Street shit in L.A. and he asked people, "No, you know who Deontay Wilder is?" And
Because
people said
that's
no.
not fake, bro.
Wilder
We
went
could
to
listen.
prison.
We could go to Park Slope right now. Yo, you know who Deontay? They ain't gonna know who the fuck you talking
Yeah,
about,
man.
You
bro.
gotta have crossover appeal. You gotta
That's
have white
true.
people like you too.
That's true. We go on Flatbush Avenue right now.
We go to Nostrand Avenue. They don't know who the fuck
Yeah, they
he
don't know who
is,
he
man.
is. They don't know who he
Some
is.
know, but
he
not all
is.
do. That's what it is.
So what point am I trying to get across? The whole foundation of everything they tried to make you to be between 2018 and 2020 leading up to the loss, all of that shit was fake. You was literally, and I'm not playing, you was riding AJ's wave. Now, AJ, we could say that he lost a couple of fights, but this dude was worth a lot of bread. And the only reason you got any bread is because of him. Because of him.
But are we watching the same thing happen to Javante right now? Is he about to take what he sees as a cherry pick in Ryan Garcia, and it's about to all go wrong?
I hope
Do
so.
we see it?
I hope
Do we
so.
see it ahead of time before it happens?
I'm not gonna
Let's stick to what we know. We know
Let's
that Ryan was willing to come down to 136 for this fight, right?
He been adamant about this fight.
Bang. Ryan didn't even ask for a two-way rematch clause. He didn't even ask for that.
None of that. Let's go to war.
What that tell you about Ryan?
He's dedicated. He's confident, and the boy fast as fuck, and he bigger.
He can outbox Tank.
Y'all know that I don't like
outbox
Ryan.
him. I think he's gonna knock him out.
like Ryan, but everything about how Ryan is moving tell me, look, maybe he's wrong, maybe he's right, but in his own mind, he really likes his chances.
But also for Tank, it's like don't take this fight 3 years from now, because this is the perfect time to beat a guy like that, because he's gonna improve over the years if he's moved correctly by Golden Boy.
And Javante,
it's either a Wilder.
Yeah, Javante's already where he's gonna be. This is his peak.
Yeah, it's either a Wilder, like he gonna walk into and get devastated, or it's a Fernando Vargas, and you walked in and bit off more than you could chew.
Now
that's where Ryan Garcia kind of is right now. He either go devastate him on some Tyson Fury shit, or he gonna end up being a Fernando Vargas.
Now let me read this super chat. Love the energy on the live tonight. I can't wait to see Jules' victory lap when the PBC finally files Chapter 11. It's a final countdown, gentlemen.
So we're in the end game now.
JR says the same way Canelo walked away from the first negotiation. Thank you, because that's what I'm getting at. If you want power, if you want real power, you show them we don't need this fight. You need this fight. We don't need this. We can find somebody for Ryan. Ryan is young. You're not.
He can go fight Tio.
Yeah, let them lose money on Tank's next fight.
Ryan is in his mid-20s. You pushing 30, bro. We don't need that. We got time. Do you? You need this. Your platform needs this. We good. Yeah, maybe we don't got a bunch of fighters, yada, yada, yada. But we good. We can find somebody for Ryan to fight. And we don't have the burden that you have, that everything you do needs to be a pay-per-view. So you need to find somebody halfway decent to replace our guy with.
Does Javante have a bigger fight? Does Javante have a bigger fight than Ryan in the near future?
And listen, you know what they're going to say, Hayam? You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, well, does Ryan have a bigger fight? Listen, bro, Ryan doesn't need a bigger
one. Yeah,
he doesn't need one. He's not the one who's been on pay-per-view the last 5 fights. He don't need he could. There's a lot of other guys that's around that he could fight. He could fight Zaur Abdullayev for all I fucking care.
Here's what's gonna happen: the fight's gonna fall through, and he's gonna fight Gary Russell.
Probably.
Nah, they have Abner Mares on standby.
Because
Gary Russell's the Chihuahua.
Because Gary Russell got a lot of fans, right?
They're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. DC Baltimore.
The kid they should have.
Tell you what, that fight. That fight is going to be outsold. It's going to be outsold by the Norris Garcia.
Go ahead, Beats.
They should have backed Hitchens, man. They back a lot of the lames. They should have backed letting go Hitchens is worse than letting go Javante as far as I'm concerned.
I'm so glad you brought up Hitchens, right? Because I seen a world-class operator on Saturday, and it dawned on me like, damn, this guy's career, if he would have stayed over there,
Bro, they did him dirty, man.
His career would have just wasted away over there. And the kid is he's world class.
Yeah.
And if he was still over there, he don't get to do nothing. At least now, maybe you could get Hitchens a Liam Bottle or the winner of Liam Bottle's next fight.
he wants Montana Love.
You know what it is? It's the professionalism.
He called him out yesterday.
Sorry about it. When you come out of the music industry, there's certain things like if you sign with Bob or Eddie or Frank, they're going to guarantee you a certain amount of fights a year. The PBC wouldn't even guarantee this kid 3 fights, and that's why they lost him over that.
They wouldn't. And here's the funniest thing. It's so bad over there. There's 2 belts over there, but even that is not worth it because you don't know if these guys are going to get you fights. You literally don't know.
That's the Leo Santa Cruz.
And a motherfucker could sit here and argue with me all day, but go argue with Richardson Hitchens if you know better than him. Go argue with him. Ask him why he left. Ask him. Don't ask me shit. Ask him if that's the land of milk and honey and Al Heyman is a wizard. Ask him, why did you leave?
Yo, Jules, where's Shushu?
Shushu at Top Rank.
Yeah, Top Rank. Okay.
Shushu good. He bought the fight. He bought the fight on an undercard of Stevenson next fight in Newark. He good.
But Jules, this is the thing I want to bring up. I was watching Coach Malachi last week, and he said something that I kind of think you guys have been talking about recently. Like, did Canelo really risk the PBC with the plant fight, and that's why we don't have fucking Crawford versus Spence? And so when you fucking battling over who should be the lead promoter in case there's a rematch clause, I'm going to start wondering that, you guys need the money because you want to make it in-house because you don't have it.
Well, my theory is that the money, the $40 million given to Canelo for the plant fight came from Floyd Mayweather, and I stand by that. I don't have proof. I just believe that because of the frequency of exhibition matches that Floyd has been having. I believe that possibly, and this is just me, so don't think it's gospel. This is just me thinking this. But I believe that Al Heyman has been using Floyd's money to bankroll a lot of the PBC's fights, and perhaps Floyd didn't know about it. Now the well is running dry explaining these exhibition matches, and the nail in the coffin was the Canelo fight, because where do you guys get the money for that fight? This is not... Canelo's not no fighter that you could give him an IOU, You got to show this guy that you got the money. The only guy I could think of that could have that kind of money is Floyd.
And Jules,
right, man.
Canelo's not going to sign that. Canelo's going to expect that $40 million escrowed within 24 hours of signing that fucking contract.
Not 6 months later.
Point. That's my point. That this is a guy you got to show him. The money is in the escrow. It not only exists, it's there for you. We got the date to deposit it to your account as soon as yada, yada, yada. You're dealing with a real fighter now. You're dealing with a real A-side now. And the only person I could think of, because it couldn't have come from Showtime, that don't make, y'all don't have no money. Y'all don't have no money. Yeah. So where'd that money come from?
Really, do they really have $100 million?
No, Showtime, you gotta understand.
I haven't heard no other fighters from Bob or for Eddie saying, we don't get paid on time. We get paid in installments and allowances.
Yo, not even Frank fighters is saying that shit. And that's not even Frank fighters is getting paid in fucking increments,
they
bro.
Do, man.
Hey, Joe, even Marv Nation paid Regis and Zapata within 36 hours.
Exactly.
That's a fact, yo.
What's his name? Who was signed to Frank?
BLK paying in full. BLK paying in full, fam.
What was that, Beats?
No, Frank paid. Frank's got a reputation of fucking with people.
No. I'm not one at a time, fellas. I'm not saying Frank dope, Beats. I'm saying that even now, here today, I hear more PBC fighters, honestly, or fighters that did business with the PBC. I see them complaining about fight dates. I see them complaining about getting paid in increments and shit. They're the ones I see. I don't see Frank's boys complaining that much, to be real with you. I don't see Eddie's boys complaining that much, aside from having huge egos, which is a separate issue. But it's never been that Eddie took my money or he didn't give me my money. Come on, B.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
Why is Adrian Broner sitting around telling Al to give him his money? What is the situation that you telling him to give you your money? Why is Hugo Centennial agreeing with you? Like, yeah, that's why I left.
Logan Paul.
Why is Logan Paul saying that Floyd is broke?
But what is Okolie saying on the other side?
No, look, he's not complaining that he ain't got paid. He got offered money from Ben Shalom, and it turned his head. That's what it was. But
he's got legal disputes.
Okolie shit is some ego shit, and the reason that I don't lambast him for it is because this is a power play, and I'm not going to knock him. It's a power play. If Ben is willing to give you more money, take it. The fuck, take that shit. If
what happens when that well dries up, though?
Move on. Figure something out. Roll with the punches. Because the whole shit is, look, you've been with Matchroom, and Matchroom really couldn't turn you into a draw. The weird thing is, you're going to Sky thinking they're going to turn you into a draw when most of the fights you had on Matchroom were where?
On Sky.
On Sky. But go ahead, bro. If they got some money for you, go ahead, bro. I ain't mad at that.
The funny shit in all this, Jules.
That's the truth, man.
How much did they complain about Anthony Joshua and Canelo's rematch clauses?
Oh, they hate them shits. They hate Anthony.
Gets rich off of it. Everybody gets rich off of those rematch clauses. The whole
it's
sport
good.
gets
it's
rich.
literal good business. So I don't know why they're complaining.
Yeah.
Motherfucking JRV says the two biggest fight fans seem to be Mexicans and English. They talk shit about the face of boxing that is Mexican and call Euro champs Euro bums. That's what they like to do. Dolt Force says Ryan can go fight Jose Ramirez. Yo, do you know how much money he would make? That's the other thing. That's what I mean. That if push came to shove and this fight fell apart, you know that Ryan can still do the Devin Haney fight and he can still do the Lopez fight.
That'll sell.
And those fights will sell. Like, literally, those fights will sell.
Korean Cosell, I know you're listening, Steve. Text Oscar now. Tell them to fuck off. All right.
That like honestly, like if I got 5 minutes to tell Oscar one thing about this deal, it's listen, Oscar, they need Ryan, but Ryan don't need them. That's reality, bro. Ryan is young. He got the time that Javante don't have. So if you really want to push this deal, if you really want to force their hand, threaten to walk away. Like, we don't need this shit, bro. Your platform needs this. We good. You need this fight. We don't. We got other shit that we could do. You ain't going to do a fight with Devin Haney, but we can. We'll find a way. We got a good relationship with Bob. You don't. Don't forget that. Bob got two fighters that we could go see them, and we'll figure out a deal structure. But we can do that because we have a good relationship with Bob. You don't. We walk away. What do you got, Isaac Cruz?
Mm-hmm. And Tank said it on camera. Why would I fight Lomachenko now? I want to fight him when he's older. Why don't Ryan does the same thing to Tank? He could do that to him.
Exactly.
Karma's a bitch.
Karma's a fucking
I
bitch.
just posted a link in the private chat what Oscar looks like on Instagram right now.
And then 140 is so deep, man, that you can make so many good matchups.
That's
with
crazy.
Ryan there.
Let me see. Hold up.
From yesterday's combo.
That's crazy. Yo.
Let me see.
Oh my God, he got the hand of God.
Trying to see my internet, bro. What?
Yo, that's crazy.
You said the whole fist,
Jesus Christ.
Bro, let's not do that shit.
Hey, you said the whole fist. I found the picture.
Oh,
God. Oh, God.
No, but on some real shit. So, look, the way I feel about this is, because I want to move on to the next subject. I really feel that Oscar should just make a power move and threaten to walk away because he can survive. Ryan can actually survive walking away from this fight. But Gervonta is going to be the one that's forced to try to sell something else, and nobody's going to buy it, bro. Like, all this shit you see on Twitter and a lot of this shit that you see on YouTube, it is pure land of make-believe. Reality, you've been on pay-per-view 5 times, and your numbers always come in the same. That tells me that those aren't the real numbers. 220, no, that's not the real number. 170, maybe 150 is the real number. I don't believe you have 200,000 paying customers. I don't believe, not with these fights. Not with.
Bro, he didn't get 200 of Garcia, bro.
If they had paying customers, Showtime would have renewed them. Fox would have renewed them. There wouldn't be this bullshit going on.
Exactly. Now I want to move on to the next subject, which we touched on a little bit. Joshua versus Franklin as a fight. I want to start off by saying that I don't mind the fight. It wasn't my first choice. My first choice was Otto Valine, but I don't mind this fight. I'm gonna start with Beats. Beats, what do you think about the fight?
The fight. It's interesting because if this guy says he's gonna leave it, telling the judges to take a night off, then it could be very entertaining, man, because he's gonna give AJ punching opportunities, and we're gonna see what AJ does if someone comes at him really hard after the 2 losses. So the fight has got a few good factors about it, man. I like the fight. I don't see why people have been. Well, I know why they've been so critical. They're critical about everything with this dude. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, they play with a different set of rules when it comes to AJ, bro.
And then even from the aesthetics and the breakdown of the fight, it's flipping subscription. Come on, man.
$7, bro. £7, I should say. £7.
Me and Jules talk about this all the time. The reason AJ gets most of this flack is because he could take these dudes' bitches. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Yo, Beats, is that price for the zone now? Is that really a big deal over there?
I don't know because to me, I tell you what. When I heard the story today, I thought, oh man, they're making us pay over double. But I didn't realize that they had the offers. I was just gonna pay it anyway. I was gonna pay over double and say, okay, if it's 99, it is what. But to me, the people who are complaining, they don't like the zone, or they don't pay. They probably don't even pay for Sky either. They don't pay. They don't pay for none of it, bro. There's a lot of people that don't pay for no subscription out here, bro.
All right, I gotta address this. It's a lot of beard talk. Listen, it's gonna grow back. It's a lot of beard talk. All right, it's gonna grow back. I wanted to shave it down nice and even, so it grows in nice and even next week. Because next week is what? What's next week?
Valentine's Day next week, and I'm not saying it. He just wanted to try something different. When
I'm not trying nothing different.
Let me finish. I'm gonna be respectful. But when him and the missus have their quality time, they wanted a little slip and slide this time, not the roughness from the beard.
Yeah, so it'll be nice and full and lush and plush next week. That's all it is. All right. Mr. Calderon said Oscar's playing chess and the PBC playing goldfish. Sophia says, Ren, can you get that message to Oscar via Steve Kim, who is best friends with Mario Lopez, Oscar's twin? Also, why you got rid of it? There's the beard talk. I didn't get rid of the beard. This is 4 o'clock shadow. This time tomorrow, listen, y'all don't know, my hair grow fast. This time tomorrow, this whole shit gonna be dark. It grow fast. I just took it down because it was a little bit uneven. I want to get a fresh cut. I want to get fly. So I'm going to let everything grow this week, grow back. And then next week, I'm going to get nice and sharp and all the cool shit. All right?
You know what? There's no escape, but Jules, you're going to keep getting asked that question.
Everybody going to act like, what's going on, bro? Like, ain't nothing going on, bro. I just wanted to trim the beard. That's all. Ain't nothing going on.
You can't make a move without it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I like having a beard too, but, I trim my shit down, line it up so it grow in lined up. Then when I do the other lineup, it'll be perfect. It'll be fine.
But now, look, let me keep it real before you cook, bro. Like, people were complaining in the UK about watching Canelo and Triple G at 4M. It's for the undisputed title. You do realize that? You know what I mean? Like,
well, when I see somebody complaining, Beats, like Debsani, for example, you literally work for Frank Warren. Whenever I see somebody say something about Conor Benn, or whenever I see somebody say something about DAZN or Matchroom, I would be okay with it if you offered me an alternative. Like, okay, if you don't like DAZN's schedule, which is fine, it's your prerogative, what is Frank doing?
Frank ain't got no schedule, bruh.
Frank has 2 shows. That's it. And I like the shows. I'm not a liar. There ain't no liar in me. I like the shows. I like Joyce versus Zhang. I don't think it's all that the way you can only have 2 shows, but that's all you got is 2 shows.
And what big fighters does he have? He has Joyce and Fury, and that's it.
I don't know them other guys that be fighting on his show. I don't know them guys.
I guess he's got Yard. Yard's got a bit of a name.
Yeah, but Yard ain't gonna come back till the end of the year. You know, like it ain't a schedule with Yard on it right now. I ain't gonna front. That was a great fight. That was a great fight. And I gave him that in my video. That look, that was a great fight. I ain't gonna take it. I like Frank low key. Like I ain't even gonna lie, because he a funny old bastard. I like him. But
so this Dev character, does he cover other sports that the BT Sports has?
No,
just boxing.
Dev is like a mouthpiece for Queensbury, bro. Like legit,
right.
Like that's all he is. He don't do nothing else.
We need a terrible boxing Frank.
He's like do they control the heavyweight division right now when Bob Arum? Does Queensbury and Bob Arum right now control the heavyweight division?
No.
Hell no.
Are you sure?
I'll tell you. No.
No, are you sure? Really look at it.
I know what Hyam's getting at.
Yeah,
but
pay attention.
For them to control it, right? For them to control it, Fury got to beat Usyk.
Yeah, then the belts disperse.
Exactly. Now they
got Dubois and Joe Joyce.
But I'm looking at this guy. I don't think Fury's gonna beat this guy.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think the guy's still going to retire.
Look at him.
I think 5 years from now they will have.
I think the guy retires. I don't think Usyk tries to fight in the heavyweight division. I think he retires. If he beats Fury, he retires. The belts disperse, and now Dubois and fucking Joe Joyce have 2 of the belts.
And I'm gonna say. All right. I'm gonna say the WBC would sooner end up in the hands of someone other than a Bob Arum fighter or a top-ranked fighter. You're talking about a situation where the belts are dispersed and versus Fury done happened already.
Yeah.
The WBC is going to shop that title out to the highest bidder. Whoever can get the most money.
Who? That's what I'm saying, Jules. I'm feeling you on your point. I think you're correct. What I'm saying is WBA is Daniel Dubois. IBF is Philip.
Yeah, but you acting. Who's the WBC? This is my thing. You acting like Dubois is really going to be able to hold it down.
No, he's not.
You're not.
I agree with you.
Got laid out by Kevin Lorena.
And they don't control.
I agree with you.
Here's listen why they don't control the division. If AJ stays on his rebuild tour and he racks up 2-3 wins, that whoever has the belt's still going to want him.
Yeah,
so he controls the division as long as
no, not completely because
as
they
long
have
as
the belt.
You're not listening. If AJ racks up these next 2 wins, who's the cash cow? Who's the A side?
No, he's always
they're gonna have to fight
always the A side.
One at a time. Let me give you a perspective.
Give me a perspective.
Motherfucking Joe, and that's a good fight. Like I like Joe, so I don't want the shit I'm saying to get confused with Joe Joyce slander. I like Joe Joyce. I like the next fight. But for perspective, his next fight is at the Copper Box, bro. AJ next fight is at the O2.
Jules, that's not what I'm saying. Listen to me. I'm not talking about
let me land the plane. Let me land the plane.
I'm sorry.
Money control boxing. You can have your little WBO interim. You can have a belt. That shit don't control nothing. Was Charles Martin in control when he had the IBF?
This is my question,
in control?
Yeah,
this is my question, Jules. Let me ask this question.
As long as Anthony Joshua's active, they're gonna have to fight on match.
Yes, I agree with all of y'all.
But I think,
guys,
can I finish? Like 5 years from now, when AJ's retired, I think just by virtue of having so many of the new young heavyweights, yeah, they probably will control the division. But that's
I'm saying that kind of quietly right now, right? AJ, we know he's the cash cow. Everybody's going to have to fight him. All roads lead to AJ as far as if you want money. But as far as controlling the actual division, does Queensbury, with their connections to Top Rank, do they control the division right now?
I want to say
that's a legitimate
question. No. I want to say that Top Rank has a heavyweight. They actually have access to a few heavyweights that I think are very promising, right? Check it though.
Jared Anderson.
Jared Anderson, Torres, Makhmudov, right? Check it. And because they cool with Lou DiBella, don't sleep. Because they cool with Lou DiBella, don't be surprised if Jollof Rice end up over there at some point.
Do they have a Jabba?
They got a Jogba, but you know, Jogba, I don't see it.
They still need the in-house fights.
This
So-
is what I'm
so
saying.
my question-
Wait, let me land the plane.
Go ahead.
The real kids that got a ceiling is Anderson, Torres, Jalalov, right? We're a couple of years out from them kids
Yes, exactly.
flourishing. We're a couple of years out from that. So if the question is that they
Right
control it now, no, because not.
I think they have more heavyweights on their roster that are.
Bro, I'm telling
impact.
you, a
Finish,
Jogba.
bro, let him
Wait. One
Okay,
at a
I'm
time.
sorry, fam. I'm just having a
No,
conversation.
not you, because I had other background shit. Tell me which one of them guys sell more than Dillian White.
No, I'm not talking about sales.
No, listen
Fam.
to me.
Go ahead.
I think Anderson is great. I think a
Yeah, I
Jogba
think he's
is a
great.
good fighter. He's just a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
fighter.
Him.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your
fam.
idea of control?
My idea of control, thank you. That was a perfect question. To ask. My idea of control is having the next monster that's going to control the division, or having enough fighters that's going to control the division. Let me give you a
scenario.
let me finish. Let me land the plane, fam. So now, with that being said, Queensberry and Top Rank have more options of landing the plane than anybody else in the heavyweight division. They do, dog. Look at it.
No. Listen, I'm not disagreeing.
I'm not talking about stars. I'm not talking about superstars. I'm not talking about.
Let me get into this shit because I keep trying to make this point.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
A Jogba not going to be a star.
No, I'm
may
not.
not be a champion.
I'm not talking about stars, dog.
All right. Let me land the plane. Makhmudov is not going to be a star. The one guy that you got that I see that he might be the guy is Anderson. Right? Yeah. That's cool. What you really got is Anderson. That's what you really got.
Yeah, you really got him. My question to you, Jules, is it all about a star, or is it all about knocking your ass out and becoming heavyweight champion, or putting yourself in position? Because Filip Hrgovic is in position. He might be a match. We don't know if he's matchroom or whatever the hell he is. But as far as control over this division, I'm telling you, I'm not talking about starship. I'm not talking about money and power and putting asses in seats. I'm talking about simply you have to go see them in order to dictate your career.
And I'm trying to tell you, because you.
I'm listening. I'm quiet. Go ahead.
Man, look. The only way they gotta go see you is for the bread.
No, they're going to see you for the belt.
For the bread.
Nah. So you want to take out all the other prerequisites.
Hold on, fam. With all due respect,
and just apply one little option to what control.
No, hold on, fam. With all due respect,
listen. You gotta go see. Listen to me. You could give Joe Joyce the WBO title today. Take it. Fuck it. Got it, right?
I'm with you.
Who gotta go see who? AJ or him?
AJ gotta come see him.
You wrong.
No, I'm not.
You have a belt.
To be a third-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Listen to me. You having a belt don't mean shit.
It does.
No, it don't. You think that AJ is gonna go box on BT because Joe?
No. I'm not saying that. No. You starting to complicate things now. I'm not talking about that, fam. I'm talking about straight up. If you get a belt right now in the heavyweight division, Anthony Joshua is hunting you down. So he got to come see you. So you will get the bigger purse. You got it back.
Come on, man. Enough with this. Another episode of this nonsense with
what nonsense, fam? Anthony Joshua wants to be the third-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Him and Joe got to get the bigger purse.
All right. This is giving me a headache. This is giving me a headache because if the only leverage that Joe has is WBO interim, you know who Philippe is? IBF interim.
Yep.
You got about as much leverage as him, bro.
I agree with you. What I'm saying to you
is how are you in control of the division because you got a belt?
Because this is what I said. I said, does Queensberry, with Top Rank connections, have control over the heavyweight division as of right now? The answer is listen. Hold on, let me finish, dog. Damn, we just talking straight up. The truth is they have two of their mandatories in position. That's the truth, fam. Wait,
That's
what am I lying?
Look.
What am I lying?
Can I break it down?
Am I making it up?
Before I pass it to Beats,
Go ahead.
Joe Joyce is fighting in the British equivalent of the Hulu Theater. Does it sound like he in control?
No, I'm not talking about money. You see, you bringing it to money
controls boxing.
Yeah, you're
bro.
trying to go around with the actual definition of
What I'm
fucking
talking about
control
is-
and boxing.
It's prize fighting.
Another episode of this. Oh, let me throw this shit at the fucking wall.
guy. I get you, but listen,
It was Beats'
if
turn
it's
anyway.
money,
Beats,
listen,
go ahead.
if it's
Beats,
money,
go ahead. Beats, go ahead. Beats.
Here's the thing, yeah, right? What Julius said is correct. I was saying, like, Joyce is getting a few plaudits on the boxing circuit, and Frank can only put him in the copper box, which seats about 6,000 people, right? And if you listen to Frank Warren in the last few weeks, all he keeps saying is, "Oh well, I don't like the Franklin fight. He could fight one of our guys." He's just desperate. He's desperate for AJ to come over there and fight Dubois and Joyce. AJ and Frank and Eddie ain't looking for them guys. They're not looking for them. There's nothing.
Guys, I'm not talking about star power.
If they get the belt, if Joyce was to get the belt, it's not good. Like it's like they can't out negotiate Anthony Joshua. And
no,
Eddie
they
Hearn.
don't. They're not a side all of a sudden against Anthony Joshua. Come on,
here's what I'm saying. Look, can I ask you a question? Was Joseph Parker in control because he had a belt?
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm asking you. And it's a question. Don't get it twisted. It's a question. What I'm asking you is this. Because these two guys, like Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce, let's say they both had belts, doesn't it make the power change direction towards them? The power is Anthony Joshua. The power is Anthony Joshua wants a third belt, and he wants to be champion. Hold on, dog.
Because I know what you about to ask me, but you the one that's not listening.
Okay, let me listen.
If I give Joe the BO, and then you a champion now, Joe, right? What's the biggest fight that Frank can make for you?
The Joshua fight. Or the Fury fight. The Fury fight.
He cannot make that for you. The most he could try to do is get you a Fury fight. I don't even know if Fury would fight this motherfucker. But that's
what I'm saying to you, Julius, is this. Anthony Joshua would have never even looked at fucking Joe Joyce, because Joe Joyce was a nobody unless he got that WBO interim title. Now he wants to be
all right, bro.
I'm
circles, bro. So
let me talk to Chaim real quick.
I'm listening, fam.
Chaim, do you think that AJ needs to see Joyce based off of reputation?
Hell
he's
no.
He's the guy that knocked out Joe Joyce, though, right? He's the guy that knocked out Joe Joyce. So he's that big of a deal, right? Everybody's talking him up. Oh, Joe Joyce. He runs through everybody.
I didn't hear that last part. Dog, I didn't hear the last part you said, fam.
Joe Joyce runs through everybody, right? Isn't that what I'm hearing?
That's what everybody says, right? That Joe Joyce runs through everybody.
So that's all it is. It's just hype. It's just hype.
Okay,
no, that's not my. I think y'all taking it into some political.
Can I simplify this shit?
Go ahead.
Until if you got to cross over the Matchroom to get an AJ fight, which you would for the
first of course you have to, because AJ
it's not
is
AJ coming to see you. It's you going to see AJ.
I agree with you on that. But what my statement would be that AJ directed his focus in your direction because you got that belt. That's the truth, fam.
Semantics.
I mean, if you want to call it semantics, but what I'm saying is,
all of this.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let him talk. Let him get at me. Go ahead.
All right. You talking about belts, right? The same leverage that Joe has right now. Oh, you're a WBO interim champion. That's cool. Hrgovic is IBF interim champion. Does AJ need you for an interim? No, he's got Hrgovic. What power do you have? What power?
No, I'm saying that hurt.
What the fuck? Listen to me.
Yeah,
you're at the fucking copper box. You're at the fucking copper box.
I hear you, and listen. I'm not trying to actually disregard what you're saying, because I'm listening to what you say, and everything you're saying makes sense. My only question would be, if these guys have two of the guys that are contending for the belts, doesn't that put them, and maybe itching on a third guy, doesn't that put them in a position where they kind of control the next generation or next level or whatever you want to call it of the division.
About 5 or 6 years, bro. You think
No, I'm talking about 2 years from now. I'm talking about 2 years from now. 18 months from now.
Because those guys aren't
Yo,
going to be.
next subject.
Yo, you tell me. Hold
What's
on.
the next subject? Because what's the next subject?
Let me ask you this question.
Let me ask the question.
What's the next subject? Because this is a chicken talk conversation now.
No, I'm not trying to be a chicken. Come on, man. Yo, you tell me it's a chicken talk conversation. Listen, this is what you telling me.
This
you
is
telling me it's a
irrelevant
chicken talk.
information.
Hold on, dudes. Let me explain. Let me explain myself since I sound like a fool. Hold on, since I sound like a fool, let me explain myself. This is the question. In the next 6 months, Tyson Fury and Usyk is going to fight. I believe those belts are going to splinter. I believe the belts are going to splinter. WBA to Daniel Dubois, IBF to Philip Hergovic's, WBO to what's this guy, Joe Joyce. And I don't know what the WBC is going to do. Whatever. Now, 2 out of the 4 is controlled by Frank Warren in Top Rank. You tell me that doesn't give them no kind of power?
I'm
making a legitimate point.
Listen to me.
You can laugh me off the channel all you want.
One at a time, because you're not listening to me. Don't say nothing. Don't even agree with what I'm saying. Just listen. Stop talking. Listen.
I agree with you, fam.
Listen. Daniel Dubois got the BA. Let's say he becomes BA champion, right? In your scenario, right? Yep. Becomes BA champion. Frank, at that point, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna keep matching his name with AJ. Why? You got mandatories now, bro.
You're right.
Wait, let me finish. You got mandatories now as a champion. You realize that, right? and sooner or later, one of them is gonna be a guy that can fuck you up, and you won't get the money getting fucked up by him that you'll get fighting AJ. Why? AJ has the power. You don't. You have a belt. You don't have power. You have a belt. That's all you got. And if you don't get the AJ fight, you know that somebody's going to come knocking sooner or later to fuck you up. Same applies to
doubt about it. No doubt about it.
That's not power. Power is, bro, you know that the same shit you got, I get that same shit over here, but I get more money when I do it because this is prize fighting. That's what it is.
All I'm asking you is, as a unit, do they control unit?
And I'm telling you, what are you controlling? Alphabet titles?
The answer is no. The answer is no.
Can I just say this? I want to thank Chaim for giving us his Ari impersonation on the boxing voice. Great job.
What? I don't even know who those people are, fam.
Listen, all I'm telling you is, Chaim, listen to me. Chaim, listen to me. Let's say I give Daniel Dubois the BA, right? And Michael Hunter coming knocking, and he whoop his motherfucking ass. Does Michael Hunter have power? No,
I think he does.
Belt. You have a belt.
I think he has a destination where AJ would want to go.
Listen to me. The most that belt can get you is a bit closer to a Joshua fight, right?
Exactly. That's the most. I'm saying. The same thing you're saying, fam.
Now hold on. Can it get you closer to a Joshua fight? Yes. Does it make you the A-side over Joshua?
No. Hell no.
Win the fight? Can you win the
talk
fight?
About that? I think that's bugging. Yeah, I think that Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce are A-side over Joshua. Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know what power you talking about this.
No, what I'm talking about is, do they have control over the division? The division. The heavyweight division.
All right.
Come on, fam.
Another way. I'm going to put, because I don't know what you think they're controlling.
I'm saying that they got the belts and they the people to see. And they got more people to see than everybody else got somebody to see.
Oh, my God.
That's what I'm saying.
How many people are seeing a
job?
It's
4 belts. It's 2 people to see.
I asked you a question earlier. You didn't give me an answer.
Go ahead.
Which one of them guys top rank got? Just tell me. Besides Fury, he's a draw. So he is a draw, right?
Yeah.
But aside from Fury, who do you have that can draw like Dillian White?
Nobody.
In America, do you have anybody?
But I did tell you that it wasn't about draw. It wasn't.
All right, now let's go to Frank.
Yeah.
Frank, can Joe Joyce draw? Has he drawn?
Absolutely
like
not. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
So then what power are we talking about?
The power is that they have a position in the sanctioning bodies where the powers that be, the Dylan Whites, the Anthony Joshuas, they got to turn towards them. We just got finished talking about a Dylan White versus Daniel Dubois fight. Hold on, family. We got finished talking about. Hold on. We just got finished talking about a Dylan White versus Daniel Dubois fight, because Dylan White had to turn towards Daniel Dubois. And Dylan White was a way bigger star than Daniel Dubois, but he had to turn his focus towards Dubois because he had the WBA regular. That's what I'm talking about by control. That's what I mean.
That's
the
not
definition
control. That was an in-house fight.
But my point makes sense, don't it?
Something else.
My point makes sense, don't it?
Oh, it does not.
No, it does,
No.
dog. You're bugging. It does. Learn the sport.
In some delusional Harlem neighborhood.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay,
I'm
you're
telling
right,
you,
you're right,
it
you're
makes
right. Let's
sense.
move
You don't
on
know
now.
what you're talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about. Next.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. You're wrong.
Listen, this is what I'm gonna leave it at this, right? I'm gonna leave it at this. You're basically trying to say that because they have a belt, they will funnel the fighters to them.
Exactly.
All right. Up until you run into a fighter that's worth more money than you are. Then it ain't got your belt no more.
Bro,
wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again,
Up until you run into a fighter that's worth more money than you are. And that's why I asked you.
But this has happened numerous times, Jules.
Is Joe the same draw that Dillian is? Has he been on pay-per-view as many times as Dillian? Has he been on pay-per-view?
Joe Joyce been on pay-per-view more times than Joseph Parker? But the fight still happened and he knocked his ass out and took his spot, didn't he?
But also,
come on, Sam.
Since when does having an interim mandatory?
Listen, I wasn't even talking about star power. Y'all brought that shit into it. I was talking about absolute control over the belts in a division. That's what I was talking about. Control over the belts in a division. The Queensberry and Top Rank Connection has more control over majority of the belts in the heavyweight division than any other organization. That's a fact, dog. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but since when is even having an interim or mandatory?
Y'all don't want to. Y'all want to argue.
Dylan was the WBC.
We don't want to argue about.
I can't argue.
We don't want to argue about.
I can stand on my own too. I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Usyk is unified champion.
You're wrong.
Wait. Usyk is unified champion with 3 straps.
I ain't say nothing about no unified champion with 3 straps. I never said that out of my mouth. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying Usyk. Usyk is unified champion.
Yes,
so, by your logic, Usyk's in control of the division.
I thought he said you said. He said Usyk.
Stop music. Turn that shit off.
That's not me. That ain't me.
It's at the request of the comments because the comments are kind of like
like that ain't me. I don't know what the fuck that was. But I agree with you that Usyk does have 3 belts, but what I'm saying is if you look at the landscape, we all believe that Usyk and Fury are going to fight, and those belts are going to fragment. When
I
those
don't
belts
believe they're
fragment,
I'm not sure.
All right. I'm not. Come on, we're not getting into semantics. Usyk and Fury fight.
We're not getting into semantics. The whole argument's been about fucking semantics.
Dog, you a sweetie. Listen, now, when Usyk and Fury fight, and those belts fragment, who has more control over the people that receive the belts?
Okay, same question.
It's a legitimate question.
Everybody let Leo talk, please.
What up, Leo?
Okay.
What's up, Leo?
Leo, end this, please, Leo.
Yeah, Leo, go ahead. Get at me, baby.
No. I want to ask you, what is control for you? What do you translate that? What is control? You're talking about control about
Leo, I already asked him that question. He's got to go on and on and on. I'm sorry.
But if you give me a quick definition of what happens if all the guys you've been saying the last half an hour, you say they get the belts. What power does they have having those belts? Hello?
Oh, where'd he go?
Hayab?
He gone.
Hayam is there.
He might have dropped off.
Damn.
No, Hayam is there.
Frank Warren got him.
Shit.
The belts got him.
No. He got to cut more weight.
Let me read the super chats. De lo mío, saludo. Love how you're consistent with your pound for pound list. Where's El Vaquero on your list after this win? Look, I want to put him on there. There's some additions that I have to make because if Kazuto Ioka drops his belt, obviously he's going to be out. If he drops his belt, he's going to be out. And I got to fill that spot. But there's a couple of good candidates. It's not just El Vaquero, even though he is a 3-division champion. It's not just El Vaquero. We also got to look at Stephen Fulton. He beat 2 champions. El Vaquero beat 1. He beat Isaac Dogbe. That's the only champion that he beat. When he moved up to 26, the title was vacant. Now that he moved up to 30, the title was vacant again. So even though he's a 3-division champion, does that really mean he has a better resume than, say, Murjan Akhmadaliev or Stephen Fulton, guys like that? In fact, I'm thinking the next entrant might be Taraji Kenshiro, because he beat 2 champions and he is a unified champion, and he's about to go and do another unification match for the BO. So there's like 3-4 guys that I'm looking at, not exclusive to El Vaquero.
Yo, Frank Warren and Al Heyman just smacked the shit out of me.
Yo,
Listen,
that LDBC super chat though, Jules.
How many days did White have to wait for his title shot? There is no
1,000
power
something.
in interim title. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can have a belt, but that doesn't give you leverage at the board. That doesn't necessarily give you leverage in the division. Not necessarily. It'll only give you leverage against fighters that have no marquee value, up until you run into somebody that does.
But that's not always.
Then it's going to be a question of who's got to cross the street.
You say, hold on, Jules, hold on. You said that it doesn't give you no control, no power.
But what is control?
Well, hold on. Ask Charles Martin about his Bentley. Ask Charles Martin about his Bentley. Ask Charles Martin about his Bentley, because it gave him some type of control, some kind of power.
That's your question. Who had power?
No, you just talked over that point, fam. You just talked over that point. How about Charles Martin and his brand new Bentley?
LDBC's got a great super chat right there.
Remember his Bruce Lee glasses? He had on? What about that? You don't give no credit to that?
To mute.
What was that? $6 million? $7 million?
No, because what you trying to convince.
Didn't the power and the money of the division focus itself on Charles Martin?
Let Leo talk.
I'm just asking a question, fam. You're saying I'm wrong.
This is exactly how.
Wait, let Leo go. Let Leo go.
I understand what Chaim saying. Basically saying, okay, if you want your title shot, you're gonna have to pay. You're going to pay the money for the title shot. If you want to cross the street, you're going to pay for the title shot. That's what you're saying.
I am. Here's the
That's
thing.
control,
right?
fam.
Can I just say this, right?
Okay.
North of Main Street, he said belts control the division, but not the money fights. And I get what he's saying. Like, the belts can kind of direct where the fights are going, but the power balance, it's a little different.
I agree with you. Beats, I agree with you. Fam. Yeah. I never said that Joshua ain't the fucking man. We are Tyson Fury ain't the man. What I'm saying is that if you control what's next,
because you have a belt does not mean you're in control.
Hey, Jules,
I don't say that, Jules. I don't agree with that. How did that work out, Jules? If you control what's next.
How did that work out for Sergey Divinchenko when he was up next for the Canelo shot, having that control?
That's one case. But how did it work for Charles Martin?
I'll tell you. Can I tell you how it worked for Charles Martin?
He got paid.
Yo, dog, do I get to talk, or are we just gonna listen to you all night? All right, now was that a PBC show?
No.
So who the fuck was in control then?
Eddie Hearn.
And Joshua didn't have a belt, right? Even though Charles Martin had a belt. Joshua had no belt. But whose show was it?
It was Eddie Hearn.
So who had power?
Power was in Eddie Hearn's background. Eddie Hearn had the power. But Charles Martin had the power to get them there. That's a fact, dog. Your boy Deontay Wilder didn't show up.
This is not about semantics. This is solid.
It's how you see control. My question is, who controls the heavyweight division after the belts disperse? Who got more mandatories? Who got more people listed up and ready to take the belts? It's Queensberry with the top rank connection. That's what I said. I ain't switch up my words not one time. I said Queensberry with the top rank connection has more control over the heavyweight division than anybody else. That's what I said. And we know Joshua's the cash
You can
cow.
say
We know
Krishak
Fury's the
and
cash
Clemens.
cow.
So they've got
You've
three
been
officials.
going around the
You can
argument.
say-
You've been changing it.
No, I
First it's
haven't,
right now.
dog. I went straight
First it's
towards
right
y'all.
now.
Don't lie.
can say-
First
Yeah, well, I'm not
Nah,
lying.
You're
Because
lying.
first you said,
all
first
right,
you
all
said
right,
right now.
all right
No,
now.
no.
All right,
First
all
you
right.
said right now, and then you said 3-4 years from now. I
No,
mean,
I
you're
didn't.
changing
I never
fucking
said 3-4
goalposts.
years from now. Right now, they got Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois. Why would I say
All right,
3-4 years from
one.
now, dog?
You did switch it. You did switch it
Nah,
because when
bro.
I asked you, like I literally made this scenario, and you don't. I don't think you understand what you're saying. This dude is literally fighting in the equivalent of the Hulu theater. That's what he fighting in, right? The Zhang fight is a great fight, but that's not no big ass fight. How I know? You at the copper box. The guy with
Yeah, but
no
that got
belt.
nothing to do with my point, fam. That
Your
got nothing
point
to do
is
with my point.
that the belts direct where the fights happen.
Yes.
That's the point. And I'm
Yes.
telling you that with his belt, you can't direct Anthony Joshua to Queensberry.
Yes,
That
you
can
can
only
because
get
he
you the
wants to be a
match.
third. Yes, you can. The same way Caleb Plant directed Canelo to where he was going to fight.
You
The same
realize,
exact thing.
right? Then you
Yeah,
realize
but
that.
Canelo walked away from the table. That to beg him
No,
back.
but Canelo only stood there because he wanted that fucking belt. That's the only reason why he ever dealt with PBC and they $40 million and all
No,
that
but he was
bullshit.
So
doing
your
He
point.
wanted the belt.
So your point is Anthony Joshua. So I get
He
this
wants
right.
to be a third-time heavyweight
All
champion.
right. So your
Whoever has
point.
the belt, he directs his power towards. It's
And
not brain
Hergovic. So
surgery,
Hergovic
guys.
is not an interim. Hergovic is not an interim.
No, I'm saying Hergovic, Daniel Dubois, and Joe Joyce. So those three people have a little bit of power in the heavyweight division. Now, two of them are in Queensberry / Top Rank. So now, does Queensberry / Top Rank hold more power over the heavyweight division than you think? This is a legitimate question, fam.
You've been asking that question.
No,
And
let's
you
all
got
just say yes. No, Jules. Let's all agree so we can move on, please.
Y'all think
Yeah.
I'm stupid, but I could count 4 Smurfs in a room, or I could count 2 Smurfs in a
It's
room,
not
or I could count
about
3 Smurfs.
what we think. It's just like
One Smurf, two
don't
Smurf,
Yeah,
three
agree.
but
Smurf.
it's
It
like,
doesn't
where is
fucking
this argument
matter.
going
Yo,
to
Yeah,
who's
but
on the
lead?
you just don't agree.
I don't know.
Yo,
So
Virtuoso.
Yo,
Who's on the WBC list?
Yeah.
Who's on the WBC list?
What happened?
Who's on the WBC list?
It's Wilder and
I'm pretty
Ruiz.
sure Wilder's in
It's
there.
Wilder
He's not that
Ruiz.
far away from
The
1-1.
closest,
Who's
the
the
closest
like the
fighter
top
that's
3, top
associated
4?
with Top Rank is Arslan Makhmudov.
yeah, but the WBC ain't ranking Russian fighters, ain't they?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I think he's like Canadian now.
Oh,
Oh
Jesus
shit!
Christ.
All right, so he's Canadian.
Damn, so we don't
Well,
even
still,
know what
the guy in line for the BC is Wilder, and if Wilder don't fight Ruiz, or he do fight Ruiz, or he lose to Ruiz, then it's Ruiz. If it ain't Ruiz, I
So
think
it's Wilder, you said, right? You said Wilder.
Third
it's
is Frank
Wilder.
Sanchez.
It's Wilder. He's number one.
You
with
said
the
Wilder
WBC.
number 1 on the WBC. So this is the same guy that's complaining about installment payments and does have a future, a previous history. He has a previous history with doing business with Frank Warren and Barbero.
Oh, so you saying that Wilder's gonna be a Frank Warren fighter?
He could skip easily. So now we got one shaky motherfucker on WBC that could possibly skip because he already complaining, and we know everybody that complained about Al Heyman, they are second out the door. Then we got a motherfucker Joe Joyce that signed to the Queensberry or Top Rank group, and then we got another motherfucker, Daniel Dubois, getting a WBA signed to to Queensberry or Top Rank. So now we got 3 motherfuckers out of the possible 4 that could possibly be getting a fucking belt, and they all got connections with Queensberry or Top Rank. Y'all told me I was stupid when I made the statement.
Because
what do you think
know,
now?
All
what do
right,
you
all
think
right.
now?
All right.
What do you think now, dog?
Yo, relax.
Come on,
We don't
man.
think nothing.
It's that his thing is that
Yeah, man,
he'll
y'all
make
not
no.
being truthful.
Everybody
Y'all not
shut
being
up.
truthful.
Everybody shut up, please. God damn, let me talk. Now, one, let me add some context to the stupid ass shit you saying. Dubois got damn near got knocked out by a cruiserweight.
I
And
didn't
you
say
got
they
it
was
in your
going to
head.
win. I'm saying they got control.
Dog, did I talk the whole time you was talking?
I'm sorry.
Did I
Bruce.
talk?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bruce. I'm sorry.
Now you
My
talking
man,
about
my
a
man.
dude that damn near got knocked out by a cruiserweight, but you don't want to acknowledge that. You know this dude
I
might
know,
get
I
beat.
do
You know
acknowledge
this dude might get beat very soon and lose that status that he got. You do realize that, right? And then you talking about a 37-year-old Joe Joyce who's fighting at the copper box.
Yep. What else you got?
And that
What else
sound
you got?
like power to you?
And then you got Wilder that just sold 77,000.
You asking is?
I'm telling you that they still got 3 fighters that are.
You don't move pieces like that.
They got
If you
3
have power,
fighters.
you're not supposed to move pieces like that, bro.
Yo, Julius.
Like what I'm saying is wrong.
Hi.
Go ahead, fam.
Right. So Daniel Dubois has got that regular belt, which Trevor Bryan had. Did he have power? Did Trevor Bryan have power over the division when he was working with that belt? So what makes Daniel have
Trevor
power?
Bryan was signed with Don King. Trevor Bryan was a nobody.
Don King still has power.
No, wait a minute. Peep this shit though. Peep this shit. Where did Daniel Dubois fight Trevor Bryan is what I want to know.
In America.
On whose show?
Someone got to get out because Steve Kim's trying to get in.
Somebody already out. Let me shoot him the link.
Go ahead, dude. Do your thing, fam. I like arguing with y'all, but I think I had a legitimate.
No, we don't have to argue about everything though.
I like that.
It's not all the time.
It's not fun. It's not. It's
That's not
actually
fun.
Really like grading.
That's fun to me, and I'm right. I'm right. Y'all wrong. I'm right. Y'all wrong.
It's like Erica Cruz.
That's fun to y'all. Y'all wrong.
We saying, listen, we spending all this time. We spending all this time arguing about whether or not Daniel Dubois has power or leverage at heavyweight because of a regular title, but you just said Trevor Bryan didn't have leverage or power. So how does
and then if you like look at the comments, it's not entertaining. Like, people don't care about
I'll explain that, fam.
They don't want to hear
that statement. I explain that statement with this. He doesn't have he's not connected with the big 3, and he was a Don King fighter or whatever. He has no connection for mobility. Whenever Frank Warren fighter is WBO whatever connected or WBA connected, whatever, when he says we gonna make a run for it, the next thing you hear is mandatory title shot.
Wait.
Damn, that's crazy.
One at a time. Here's a perfect. Wait. Let me talk, and then I'll pass it to Michael.
Okay.
Here's an example of why what you're saying does not herald power.
Go ahead.
Zach Parker was WBO interim champion, right?
Yep.
Up until who got to him?
John Ryder, right?
John Ryder.
Yeah.
Does it look like he has power? Does it look like it?
But didn't he have power before the fight?
No.
Yes,
power to do what?
Because John Ryder had to come fight him. John Ryder had to come fight him.
Frank Warren?
No, hold on. The John Ryder Zach Parker fight was basically a breakdown, a finish line fight to get to Canelo. Because now John Ryder's next fight is going to be Canelo Alvarez. So Zach Parker did have power.
If Zach would have won the fight, he would have had to fight Canelo. All right, now you telling me that what you think Canelo was going to go to Queensbury?
Canelo would have went to BC Sport wherever the fuck he wants to. He's a free agent. He would have fought him.
All right. So then, in other words, what you telling me basically, because this is what these arguments rely upon, and I'm leaving it here.
I'm listening.
Your argument has no common sense.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, it doesn't. Canelo wasn't
semantics.
Yo, let me do this, please. I don't need 10 people talking at the same time.
Go ahead, Phil.
If you think that Canelo was going to go to Queensbury, I'm not going to waste my time on you based on your semantics argument.
Okay, but Canelo went to PBC, though.
That's just, like, honest to God, that's just some stupid ass shit.
But Canelo went to PBC, that was some stupid ass shit.
If that fight was going to happen, it would have been Zach Parker going to match him, not the other way around.
Okay, I mean,
common sense. That's common sense.
That's semantics.
How is that semantics?
He would have been fighting Joe. He would have been fighting Zach Parker. That's my point. You would have. The power is turning towards the fucking contender or the interim fighter.
Zach Parker, Frank has
power.
How
the fuck does Zach Parker's name even get mentioned in the same sentence as a Canelo? Because he has a belt. Motherfucker, are you kidding me?
What's the point of this argument?
You know what? He just likes to argue with everybody.
Yo, what I'm saying is that's stupid. Y'all don't know what y'all saying.
No, but like, it doesn't make any sense.
If Anthony Joshua wants to be a long-time heavyweight champion, anybody that has a belt is in a position of power.
1 second. Can I just talk?
I'm trying to disagree. Wait.
Bro, have y'all ever had the Buffalo Chicken Balloon at the gas station?
I'm listening, Beats.
Yeah, right. You said that Trevor Bryan didn't have no power because Don King was locked out of the game.
Yeah.
But did Lucas Brown have any power with Klitschko when he had it?
No. Not really, because he didn't have an engine behind him that was going to promote him
David
from
Morrell
WBA
got
to
power.
Super.
David Morrell got power.
No, because he don't have an engine behind him that's going to promote him to Super.
He has PBC. What you mean? You just said the
PBC. He doesn't have an engine behind him that's going to promote him to Super. He doesn't have an engine behind him that's going to promote him to Super.
We agree. Move on, bro.
All right,
have y'all ever had the?
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Have y'all ever had the Buffalo chicken rollers from the gas station?
Can I say something?
You can chicken roll on the gas station all you
Leo,
want.
go ahead, bro. Leo, go ahead.
Argue with your bitch, man.
You a bitch.
So
You a
glad
bitch.
you mentioned-
So,
I know, motherfucker. I know a non-push.
Come on, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Come on, guys.
No, all right. Let me say this.
Yeah, let's not do that, lame shit.
Come on,
We're just
let's
chilling, man.
Cut the childish shit out for real. Cut the childish shit out. Look, this is the thing. The flaw in your argument, Hayam, is that it relies on the principle that the interim, whoever has the interim or the secondary, because that is what we're talking about, more or less, secondary titles, that funnels all the talent to that particular platform.
No, I just thought it funneled the power. All I thought was this. All I thought was if you got an interim belt, you got your hands on an interim belt.
You just get cut off again, Jules?
I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. You know what? You know what, guys?
In other words, what you telling me? Listen, what you telling me is that you thought.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
While Zach had the BO, you was running around really thinking that Canelo was gonna go to Queensbury.
For what?
Frank Warren has all the power.
Wow.
Next topic, Frank Warren has all the
Zach had
power.
the BO.
The history of that belt, right, started from Shagayev versus Pinata when he beat him. And then you had Lucas Brown popping. You had Shannon Briggs going to fight for it. He tested for something. Then you got Fraser Quendo trying to take
the bullshit.
the WBA to court for a shot. That was crazy. Listen, that belt, Daniel Dubois nearly got knocked out by a cruiser.
I agree with you. I'm not. I think y'all got me mixed up. I think y'all got me mixed up on what I'm saying. Listen to me. I'm not talking about Daniel Dubois or Joe Joyce.
Let's talk about something else.
Hold on. Let me defend myself.
No.
No. I'm gonna respect Beats. Let Beats.
Don't like this. The viewers don't like this.
What Beats would say.
Yours. Beats, go ahead.
Let Beats talk.
Right. You need a combination of credibility to go with the belt. You can't just have a belt. That belt has gone through horrible situations. The regular, you had Manuel Char involved in the loop, right?
I agree with you.
John King put him out the game because of visa reasons and stuff. Listen, the belt has no credit. Daniel Dubois has no credibility.
I wasn't talking about that, Beats. With all due respect, I wasn't talking about that, Beats.
You're talking about
So belts don't matter then.
Hear me out.
Belts don't matter then. It's a promoter, right? It's a promoter that puts you in the spot, right?
Like the viewers don't care.
Oh my God. Yo, let's move on.
But I was talking about
where's Kim at?
Queensbury had control over
Come on, man.
Top Rank have control
Click the link.
over the number one and number two motherfuckers that's gonna get the belt next. That's what I was talking about. I don't care if it was Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce, or it was fucking whoever the fuck. I don't care if it was Derek Chisora.
Okay, but
they had the control over the fighter that's gonna get the belt next.
What is the point of this argument? What is the point? Where's
the point was? Listen, I'm gonna tell you the point. The point was who controls the heavyweight division right now.
Who gives a fuck?
Who controls the heavyweight division?
Wait,
ain't this a boxing channel? Ain't this a boxing channel?
All right. That's the
ain't
question.
This a boxing channel?
All right, who controls the heavyweight division? It's
right now, that's what my question was.
Then you're going to let anybody answer the question? That's the question.
Is it right now or 18 months, like you said?
No, I said right now, dog. Is it right now or is it dinner time?
Okay, I got a question. I have a question. Who had more control in their negotiations? Bernard, that had most of the belts, or Oscar?
I believe it was Oscar. He was the cash cow.
It's Oscar, right? In belt,
he was the cash cow.
He didn't have the power or the control. Oscar.
But where was Oscar focused at? Where was his focus at?
The belts, the belts. But who had the power?
Thank you. Thank you for admitting that finally. Thank you.
You saying that because he had a belt, he got to fight. That don't give him power.
I said the power focuses towards the belts. That's what I said. That's what I said. The axis
of power is not leveraged towards the belt.
The video,
because Canelo could have no belts.
Because he's a cash cow.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In the
Right.
Golovkin negotiations, who had all the belts?
The Golovkin negotiations. Which one? Which fight you talking about?
Both of them. All of them.
The first fight, didn't Golovkin have all the belts?
And who got 70%?
Canelo.
So what power are you talking about?
I'm talking about the power that he fought nobody else but Golovkin.
Can I give you my
That's the power I'm talking about.
Let Leo
That's the
go.
power that I'm talking about.
Let
When
Leo
you
go.
make Anthony Joshua come sit at your
All right,
table,
let Leo talk.
you got power.
Let Leo
dog.
talk. Let Leo
Whether
talk.
you sit at his table or he sit at yours, you got power.
Yeah,
That's
Just let
power,
Leo go.
dog.
Just let Leo go,
I'm
please.
so glad that Beats mentioned Vladimir Klitschko, because
Yes.
that's what, for me, according to my definition, that's what real power looks like. Not only you have to have the means, the backup, the promotional company, the money to back it up. You have to be so good that you're going to be the favorite in every fight. So none of these other promotional companies are going to say, okay, I'm going to invest a fuck ton of money to bring Vladimir Klitschko over here in case of a mandatory challenger comes, because it's not going to win. Every guy was going to Vladimir Klitschko because, okay, if you wanna have your chat for for Vladimir Klitschko's titles, you can have it, but you're going to there, you're going to Russia because you're going to Germany because you are probably you're not going to win. Okay, so that is power to me. Now,
Yeah, I think that this boils down to this. You're characterizing power as being able to get a Joshua fight, even if you have no power in negotiations. That's what you classify as power, whether or not Anthony cares about your belt. That's what it sounds like.
I do. You're correct. Actually, you're
That's
correct.
what it sounds like.
You-
And I'm telling
Caleb
you,
Plant is
you're not
power.
listening to me. You're not listening. So Caleb Plant had
Yes.
power because he got
Yes.
10 mil versus the 40 mil that Canelo.
100%. 100%. Yes.
Wait a minute. Haim, wait. Let me ask Haim. Hold on.
Bro, this is a dumb argument.
Let me ask you, Haim. Let me ask you this. So, what up, fellas? How y'all doing? So like Joshua versus Franklin was just announced. By your logic, are you saying Jermaine Franklin had the power to make that fight?
I guess.
In a way, yes. But hold on. Let me expound on it.
Good. Let's talk about
Listen, y'all manipulating my point. What y'all say
we went from three. We went from
Hold on. I was talking about a promotional outfit. Hold on. I was talking about a promotional outfit that had two fighters in mandatory position.
By the power of Grayskull.
Yo,
No, listen, I was talking about a promotional outfit. Hold on. I was talking about a promotional outfit that had two fighters in mandatory position.
Julius,
That's
what was your next
Franklin
talking
having
point?
power. What does that have to do with Jermaine Franklin having power?
Please.
I was talking about two that has nothing to do with it. That's what I'm saying. I was talking about a promotional outfit that had two fighters in mandatory position.
Okay,
that's what I was talking about, dog.
Okay,
that's how I started the argument. Y'all trying to manipulate it and talking about Jermaine
We ain't
Franklin
trying to
and this and
manipulate.
that.
What the hell you talking, bro?
No, what are you talking about? I said one promotional outfit has two mandatory spots for the heavyweight division. I said, do they control the heavyweight division right now?
I asked you this Jermaine Franklin. You said in a way, yes. He has no power. Joshua
if you
chose
can
to
make
fight him.
power
Joshua
turn in your
chose to fight him.
direction, that is power.
No, how this whole argument started was you asked how this started was
like this is a stupid fucking.
It is.
It's not.
Let's talk about something. When you go back and
let me bring up one point.
You trying to make it sound like Anthony is at the mercy of Jermaine Franklin.
Let me bring up one point to you guys. Chaim openly admitted that he just likes arguing with everybody, so that should tell the story right there.
The nigga just likes to argue, bro. Move on.
Yeah, this is a sport.
The only reason that Joshua is fighting Jermaine Franklin is because Joshua chose to fight him.
Yeah, like this some shit is too stupid to argue, bro. Like really, Jermaine Franklin has power over because Anthony didn't have like 4 other guys.
Bro, next subject.
Haim,
Bro.
you've
Next
been drinking
subject,
again.
please.
Haim, you've been drinking again.
But
You
also,
sure?
it's like you don't like to argue because you don't even let no one else
it's like
talk.
saying
So it's
that
just like you like to
after
talk.
one
That's
day of
about
power
it.
when he fought Lennox Lewis with the WBO belt. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow,
And then Beats brought it up. Freza Kendo, he had power. Manuel Char, because he had the same version of the WBA that Dubois has. Manuel Char had power, really. When?
I just played it back.
Bryan had power.
When you go back, you ask Jules if they have the power right now. Jules said no. And then you fucking said not now, but 2 to 3 years from now.
He said 2 years from now. But anyways, yo, Jules, what was your next
What?
talking point? What was the next talking
You know
point,
that I
bro?
fucking forgot, bro. I literally fucking forgot.
Didn't you jot it down? Didn't you have
Let me look if I uploaded some screenshots. So
please, bro, please, because we wasted
Oh
so
my
much
God.
time. Nigga just likes to argue, bro.
Well, look,
You were
the
gonna
other
talk
shit is-
about that Stephen
No,
Fulton interview.
Pascal has all the power in the light heavyweight division because he about to
Yep.
fight an IBF interim fight. He has
That's
all
right.
the power.
That's right.
And he's a weight bully too.
He has power over Better Beef. He has power over Bivol. Bob Arum must bend the knee. Everybody because he's IBF interim, bro.
Hey, Jules, I don't know if you were. Are you going to talk about Fulton in a relay, or did you go live too?
I do want to talk about Fulton in the relay, but we can shoot the shit about it now because I got to get off of it. That shit was a headache, bro. That
How
shit,
long did that go on? How long did that go on?
bro, that shit went Jay, that shit went on for like an hour, bro.
Oh,
About
for fuck's sake, Jesus! Oh,
fucking
God.
power, like power, bro. What are you?
We're sorry,
talking
Steve.
about? All right, so
Yeah, Steve texted me he had to go to
go ahead,
dinner.
Jules. Go ahead, Jules. Run,
Hold
champion
on any
shit. Go
longer.
ahead, Jules.
I don't even know, man. I don't even fucking know, dog.
By the
I
power invested in me.
red hair. I don't know, bro.
Oh yeah, did you say you sat through that whole video just to see that ass, Jules?
No, I didn't say that shit. Don't get me in trouble. Oh my god, that shit was so fucking frustrating, bro. Like,
Anyways,
Is Luke gonna really try to put that fight on pay-per-view?
What?
So what do you guys make? Did you guys
Yeah.
catch that Fulton interview with Brian Custer?
what did he say?
What do you say?
I watched it. I did watch it, and basically what Fulton communicated is that he ran it by Al, and Al let him do it. And the only takeaway from that, which is why the segment wasn't going to be very long anyway, is that he doesn't. I think that at this point, he doesn't really have anything for Fulton of value. You know, you're not pursuing the MJ Akhmadaliev fight, for example. And I never levied all the blame on Al. I've also said I didn't see Eddie make Stephen Fulton an offer. I didn't see that. I didn't see you send him anything semblant of a contract or a term sheet to do the fight. So I'm going to say that y'all staying away from each other. That's what I'm going to say. Because y'all already had 2 years to do it. Stephen Fulton been a champion for 2 years or some shit like that. I think he won his first belt in early 2021, and he was a champion all last year. What attempt did you make for Undisputed? Nothing. What attempt did Eddie make for Undisputed? Nothing, right? So I'm not going to blame either of you for that, or I'm going to blame both of you for that. But what I see with Al is he don't have nothing for this kid to do. So you might as well let him go because you don't have nothing. Nobody care about no Brandon Figueroa fight. Nobody care about that shit.
The rematch, we saw it already, like for real.
But to me, I think in that interview, it came off kind of like weird to me is that he had to reiterate multiple times that there was no schism between him and Al. And he also kind of contradicted himself because he's like, yeah, they're saying that Al got in the way in the fight, but he still had to ask for his blessing to take the fight. Like, if you're a fucking grown man, why can't you just take a fight? The fuck you need a blessing for?
Basically, why we doing this fake Godfather shit? Like, to me, Al trying to be like a fake like Don Corleone or some shit like.
And on top of that, Stephen Fulton's ignoring everything that started. Remember, Jules, he's the first one that started talking greasy about Inoue. Then he had that boxing scene article where he said, "Oh, he ain't nothing without his power." And then you run up to go fight Figueroa, and you saw all the fans give you shit.
Listen, fellas, let's not even count our chickens before they hatched, because the fight gotta happen for you to get the credit. The fight gotta happen.
That's right. That's right.
It's Ryan and
first and foremost.
Yeah,
the fight gotta happen.
I don't want to hear about this laughing.
I'm still skeptical. The fight happened until they're in the ring. That's
exactly. So I don't want to hear about this. Me and Al.
The way I see it, anything can go wrong between now and May. anything can go wrong. And my whole thing is for you, and I'll give him credit if he goes, just for going. I'll give him credit for that. If he loses or gets knocked out, I'll still give him credit. But the fight has to happen. And I don't trust you. I'm going to be real. I don't trust you.
Exactly. I cannot listen to you saying like, "Oh, me and Al be laughing."
All that shit.
I don't want to hear that shit.
All
I want
that
to hear
shit
the sign.
sound good. All that shit sound good. All of it. But I'll believe it when I see it. And I haven't seen it yet.
That Al shit, Al being the Godfather shit, is hilarious. He's like, "You come to me on this, the day of Steven Espinosa's wedding."
I'm gonna make you a local offer you can't refuse.
I'm gonna give you an IOU installment you won't refuse.
Bro, like, and you know that honestly that's what I think it is. Like, he trying to live out some kind of like Godfather fantasy or some dumb shit. Like, bro, you're an advisor, all right? Now, this is why I take issue with Al Heyman that many of the lame brains won't understand. What he's doing is wrong. Showtime did not pledge fealty to Stephen Fulton. He doesn't have an exclusivity deal with them. So if you're not paying for the cow, you shouldn't get the milk for free. You shouldn't get loyalty and exclusivity unless you're paying for it. Period. And what's been going on with PBC and Showtime is fighters couldn't move. That's what we've been seeing. Fighters can't move. They got to go to Al. Like, are they getting paid for that? Because if they not, and we all know they're not, that kid should be able to go where he wants. If Eddie were to have formulated an offer for Stephen Fulton, for example, he should be able to go to the zone and take it unless you can match it. And that never happens with you guys. You didn't match what they offered Jermall Charlo. You didn't match it. When they offered him $7-8 million, you didn't match that. All you did was you had Tom Brown say, "Well, of course you want to send him over here." That don't sound like shit to me, bro. You even trying to do the fight or you not? So when I see Stephen and he's saying all this shit, it's like the exact opposite of everything we've been seeing for years. And that's why I don't believe you, bro. I'll believe you when you're in the ring. That's when I'll believe
you. We need more people.
Fuck out of here with it. All that shit sound good. Like, yeah, it sound good. Al said this. And then you get injured or some stupid shit. Some mysterious bullshit.
Tom Brown is Sonny and Espinosa's Fredo.
Unbiased said Stephen Fulton already left to Japan. I don't know if that's true.
All right. It's February, bro. The fight is supposed to be in May. Why is he in Japan?
Oh, for the promo. For the promo.
Really?
Oh,
all right. No. If that's what's, because I'm about the fights. If it's really going down and he's really promoting the show, good. That's good. Don't fuck this up. Because if you
hope it's real,
I swear to God, if he pulls out, I swear to God, bro.
If he I don't want to hear that he has a torn plantar fascia. I don't want to hear that he got an injury. Anything happens, bro, the jig is up.
He got in a car accident. Fuck. Earl Spence was driving.
I'm trying to tell you, I don't want to hear it because the shit sounds too good to be true.
And what do they say when it's too good to be true?
It probably is.
Yep.
It probably is.
Let's hope, man. Let's hope.
Now, thinking about that fight, or at least a big part of the reason I want to see that fight, is Inoue is a great fighter. Don't get me wrong. But this guy, and I've said this before about Stephen, he can offset his power because Inoue don't throw a lot of punches. He doesn't. Watch him. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. It's only 1 or 2 shots at a time throughout the course of the round. 1 or 2 shots at a time. He's not a big combination puncher unless he gets you hurt. But Stephen, he's durable. He went the distance with Brandon Figueroa. He got hit with a lot of punches. And I feel, you know what? He can make it hard for Inoue to land some of his shit. Now, I haven't heard what Beats thinks about that fight. Beats, what do you think about that fight?
I haven't broke it down thoroughly enough, like from a point of who's gonna win. I think it will be one of Inoue's tougher battles. I do believe that. And what it is, Stephen really wants to fight, and he sees something. He sees some stuff that he believes he can capitalize on. I don't know what that is yet because Inouye's looked pretty good, but he did get his orbital bone bust by Nonito. I'd probably say Stefan is fresher than Nonito. I don't know if he does. I don't think he cracks as hard. I don't know. I don't know if he. I don't want to break it down just to power. I believe he's gonna have to hurt my guy to really have a realistic chance of having a good shot. Really. And I don't know.
I want to say this. I want to say.
I'm sorry.
I want to say that this is my thing. I see two scenarios. If Stefan is a defensive specialist in the fight, he can greatly offset Inouye's power because we saw in the Butler fight that a bit of movement and Inoue couldn't land the big shot. Just with a bit of movement, he couldn't land the big shot. And Paul Butler, he ain't the greatest, but just a little bit of lateral movement bought him a lot of time. And I do think Fulton is certainly a better fighter than Paul Butler. Certainly a better fighter.
100%.
Julius, can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
Look, I'm not that impressed with the Brandon Figueroa fight because, look, I don't know much about boxing, but I can recognize an arm punch when I see it. Brandon Figueroa throws a lot of arm punches. He doesn't have really snap on those punches. He has a lot of volume. You can see that it was being moving around, but you have weight and you have size, you're gonna move your guy with your arm. That's obvious. But power like that, I don't think he has.
He did stop Luis Neri, bro. He did stop him with a body shot. He's got something.
I'm not talking he has no power. I'm talking he doesn't have snap on those punches. You don't really need a snap on your punches to hurt to the body, really. To the head is another thing.
Okay, I have a question for the panel. How do you guys think Stefan, if they do fight, how do you think he's going to approach that fight? Is he going to approach it the way he approached the Angelo Leo fight, or is he going to be a defensive specialist and just spend the whole fight on the back foot?
But he can't do that in Japan because then he's not going to pile up points. But if
he said he's not worried about that.
Yeah, but if he punches too much, he can get countered pretty badly.
He might.
I think he may approach. I think he may approach how he fought in the Leo fight, but if he gets touched up by Inoue, he probably gets hurt. Or probably.
What happened to Angelo Leo? He doesn't box anymore.
He hasn't boxed since that shit, bro.
PBC. That's all I can tell you. PBC.
But I think that Fulton has no choice but to step to Inoue because if you like, I don't buy this whole durability argument because he's been complaining about making the weight for a while now. So and we just saw with Eubank how that shit can turn out. And I think that Inoue has the better fundamentals. So this whole you can get that movement around, but Inoue is going to continue to pick up points with that straight right and that left hook. So he has no choice but to try and be slick on the inside.
I don't know about that. I don't know. And I think Stefan might be the better inside fighter, but he just doesn't have as much power. I don't know, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. He is the better inside fighter. So
I want to say that Inouye's best punches are straight punches from the outside coming in. His best shots are straight shots from the outside coming in. Mid-range to inside, he's vulnerable. That's why he got hit with that left hook. And if you take the fight to him mid-range to inside, maybe that'll fluster him because he's not expecting that. I think he's expecting Fulton to move around like Butler. That's what I think he's expecting.
But
So
how is Fulton going to pile up points doing that?
Well, that's my point. What if Fulton feels I'm too big for him and I'm going to out-muscle him?
But also, when has Inoue ever struggled with a boxer? This is what I'm saying. Show me.
But how many boxers has he? Let's be real. Fulton is a good fighter. He's a better fighter than Emmanuel Rodriguez, I think.
He's definitely the best at 122. That's for sure.
The main thing I see that he doesn't have, and I really believe this, I think Nonito punches way harder than him.
Yes.
Way harder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, let me say this.
I'd agree.
Inoue, if he has a weakness, we can say it's a weakness. He doesn't like when a guy moves a lot. He loses patience. I remember the Nieves fight. He was moving around. It was still winning. It was ripping him to the body. But after a while, it was like putting his hands to the air, like come on, dude, fight me. So it's not the kind of guy that is really glad to cut the ring and try to feel some damage. He wants the guy to come forward and try to box. So if Fulton does that a lot, he can at least he can survive. But I like
He won't win doing that, Leo.
No,
he won't win doing that though.
But yeah, like we're supposed to say, it's not gonna be points doing that shit.
That's what I mean. That the only out I see for Fulton, honestly, the out that I see is the element of surprise. Take the fight to him. He thinks you're going to be a defensive specialist. If you fight the fight in the pocket, he won't expect that. And if he knew he is vulnerable anywhere, it's in the pocket. Yeah, he's vulnerable there. He got hit with a hard left hand in there.
Look, let's take for example Trump Porter. Trump Porter doesn't mind if a guy moves around because he was really physical and he pushed the guys into the ropes and delivered some punches. You know, it's not the kind of guy that's gonna push a guy around to try to rough him up. No, he's gonna try to box.
Yeah. And couldn't he catch? Like he could catch him if he throws so many punches.
And
Like,
he is a good inside fighter.
Nue's a great counter. He's one of the best counter punches.
My question is this though: once Fulton actually feels the power and gets hit cleanly at least a couple times, how does that change the dynamic of the fight? And what?
That's my concern. That's my main concern too.
And that's the other thing. There's a question. Like many people are comfortable with the idea that the power is going to carry, but need to remind you that this is his fourth weight. This is fourth weight. Is that power from 118 going to carry? Like his power look crazy at 118. Don't get it twisted. It do, if he can land. But how does that transfer to 122? Is it actually going to come up with him?
How old is Inoue now?
I think it will.
And he's 29. He's 29. 29.
29?
Yeah.
So he's getting into his prime years?
Because I think
this is his peak.
I was about to say, I think part of his power is the fact that he just throws everything correctly every single time.
Proper technique.
And now he used to wear pillows, and Timothy Bradley pointed this out. He used to wear he used to wear pillows on his hands, and now he's using these fucking Cleto Reyes gloves. So
it won't be easy for the power to travel because Fulton is defensively responsible as well. So he'll be riding a lot of the shots as well. So it won't be easy. It won't be easy. You'll have to work for it.
He'll have to go for his body.
And that's kind of what I see, Beats. That he's not going to be there for a straight. Look, a lot of his knockouts are great, so I don't want to diminish him as a fighter. But I just don't think you can throw a straight 1-2 at Fulton and it lands the same way you did on Payano. You know? And that's one of his highlights.
There you go. There you go.
He literally threw the most common combination in all of boxing, the jab right hand. And it's cool that he did that because he was fast enough to do it, but also because the opening is there. I don't think Stephen Fulton gonna give you that kind of open. I don't think.
You know, Manny Pacquiao's power always.
But the question is, what is Fulton gonna give back to him that's more powerful? Is he gonna make him respect him?
One more question.
Manny Pacquiao's power didn't really travel like people said it didn't.
One more question, though, guys. One more question. If Fulton lets himself be on the ropes like he did with Brandon Figueroa, what happens?
Oh, he's gonna get tore up. Pause.
Yeah, but country, he knew he's not a volume puncher like Brandon Figueroa. He's not.
But
the reason
I thought it was about volume, though.
The reason that Fulton kept ending up on the ropes with Figueroa is because Figueroa fight just like Jared Hurd. He just gonna throw. It don't matter if it's some bullshit, some whack shit. He just gonna throw. He gonna throw the whole fight. That's why Fulton ended up on the ropes.
Well, but also you gotta say though, Inoue does make that adjustment. He's not a natural volume puncher, but against Nonito Daer, he had to get in his bag for that, and he did throw over 600 punches in that fight. So it's not like that's strange to him. Or new territory.
For saying all right, apart when Manny moved up to 140 plus, who did he stop apart from Cotto and Oscar, who he drained? Who
Margarito was that 140?
Yeah, he stop Margarito.
He get knockdowns, but
he didn't stop Margarito. That was the distance.
He didn't really get a lot of KOs.
He fucked him up.
Margarito went to 412.
Yeah, but he still fucked him up in that.
But did you see his face beats? He looked like
that wasn't a competitive fight at all.
That fight should have been stopped, but it did go to distance.
That was accumulation, though.
That's a fair point. That
Yeah,
is
that's a
a
fair point. But this guy started at
And
bantamweight.
he didn't even
You
stop
see,
Chris
like that's a
Algieri.
big deal. That's a big deal what he did.
Couldn't knock out Chris Algieri. Spence took Algieri
Yep.
out.
Dropped Algieri several times, but he didn't stop him though.
Man,
So, yeah.
Algeria ain't shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Brandon Figueroa went the distance with him.
With Algeria?
Brandon, what's the other Brandon? Not Brandon.
Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios. He did. Brandon
Brandon
Rios. He did. He did.
Distance, you know.
That's it. No, that is a good point. Actually, that is a very good point.
He
That's
did stop
Pacquiao's true punching power was at feather and lightweight. Yeah, you know
I'll say, usually around Division 4. That's when, if you're gonna get found out, you get found out. Chocolatito got found out at Division 4. Got found out.
Right.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
I'm not happy about it, but I'm just saying that he got fucking found out.
I mean, but like it's funny. But Motividia, I don't know y'all know the boxing channel Motividia.
Canelo,
like
yeah,
like
Canelo,
that.
Yep, found out Division 4.
I mean, but Motividia, they released a video showcasing Stephen Fulton, and so I had to look at that video, an in-depth look. I'm thinking this fight might be more tougher than people think for Noe.
After
watching that video.
So. I think it's 50-50, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I do.
I think it is, but I also lean towards Inoue.
Yeah.
I'm where Julio is, in the sense that I just feel like, you're gonna have to find the shots. You're gonna have to find the shots. One thing about Inoue, the same thing that makes him great is the same thing that'll make this fight difficult. He don't throw no bullshit. Like, there's a lot of guys that'll throw some bullshit. He don't throw no bullshit. He's very accurate. He takes his time with his punches. He picks his punches. But against a guy that's not really giving you nothing, if he not giving you nothing, how you gonna land? He not giving you nothing.
It's gonna be hard to find him.
Bro, Leo, who you got?
It's not just also
Leo, break it down, bro.
Help me, Leo.
I have Inoue, but I think it's gonna look more close because Fulton, everything Fulton throws, I think it's gonna hit clean, but it's not gonna have the enough activity in that fight to wrap up in Japan. We're talking about his house, so you can give that kind of performance on the PBC side and get a win. But I don't think in Japan you're gonna cut the W fighting like that.
I'll say this: if Fulton starts to have success and he's landing punches, what I can see is a catch and counter. That's what I can see. That if he's gonna nail him, it'll be between the shots. That if he's touching him with the jab, and he's getting off, he's getting things in there, and then kind of like what happened to Luis Ortiz, he was having success with Wilder, and then move. That's what I could kind of see. That like. You got to get him to open up, and he's not going to want to at first because he doesn't want to gamble with your power. But if he starts to have a little bit of success, he might open up, and then you can catch and counter. That's what I see. Because it's hard to imagine you're just going to nail him, and it's true that Inoue is impatient. He was impatient with Paul Butler. He started fucking doing shuffles and Harlem shaking and shit in there.
He started showboating in there. We don't see him do that.
He don't be doing that. Very interesting fight. Very interesting.
Also, I think Inoue's defense is underrated as well. Really doesn't get hit cleanly a lot, apart from the Donaire fight.
He doesn't, but this is 122, bro. Division 4. Canelo got found out at Division 4. Chocolatito got found out at Division 4.
Right, but it took them a while to get found out. So
It
I
did.
don't know.
I
don't think I get it. I think Inoue does have the stylistic advantage in a sense, and he has all the physical qualities, but I just think Inoue's pure fundamentals will get him that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think in order for him to find the shots, he has to find the angles. He can't, like, if you get hit with something like meaningful and you're gonna back up into the ropes constantly, man, that's not good, man. You got to find angles.
Now we got Alexander Usyk, and we see that he hasn't cut his hair in a while. What does this picture tell you guys?
He just got out of bed.
It's crazy.
I think you know what this tells me, Jules? I think for the undisputed fight, he's gonna be wearing cornrows.
Yo, bro.
He gonna G up, bro, for real.
No, that's facts.
Would
Because
be funny,
y'all remember when what's his face? Kazuto Ioka came when he with braids in the
Kosei Tanaka fight.
And he fucked him up.
He did the Iverson, and Tanaka got his ankle crossed.
I mean, Beats, you see this picture? What do you say? What does this picture tell you?
Belly. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say what's in this guy's mind. He's crazy, isn't it? He's crazy.
I'm gonna say that just off of the energy, that made me a little bit more confident that he's gonna beat the guy. There's something about Fury right now that look, and I don't want to read too much into it, but it's something about him right now that I don't really think he's up for this.
Yeah.
I don't think he
I
cares.
agree.
I just don't think, because see, he's up for certain shit when it means something to him. And I don't get the sense that this fight means anything to him. And that kind of make me feel like, yo, are you up for this, bro? Because you need to be.
You do. I don't think he was up for the third Wilder fight, if I'm being honest.
I mean that's fair. It's possible that he wasn't after 2 fights already. It's possible that he was like, all right, I'll fuck him up again.
Even though he did beat him to sight. Like when he got dropped, you could tell.
But he did get dropped. That's the thing. He did get dropped.
Like why he was on the ground,
having a lot of
he's like, oh shit, should I even get up? Fuck this, man.
He was having a lot of outside issues. Like apparently his daughter almost died, so he was he wasn't really training. So
the thing with this fight here is there is going to be a period where Usyk can't get past the jab. And how does he react to that for the first time in maybe in his pro career? How does he react?
I don't think Fury's jab is that good, Beats. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's long, though.
I don't agree with
you know
that.
what it is? This is my thing. And I'm not trying to say this, I'm not on my I hate Fury shit. I'm just being honest. You're landing a jab, and it's a good jab against other heavyweights. It's a great jab. It's a fantastic jab. Like, Fury's a good boxer, all fuckery aside, he's a very good boxer. But how many moving targets can you actually hit with that jab? How many? Because this is a very small target with a very good gas tank.
Well, when you got an 85-inch reach, he'll hit Usyk, man. He'll hit AJ hit Usyk with the jab. You know what I mean?
True.
Like Derek Chisora went southpaw and tagged the guy with jabs. He's gonna hit him with the jab, bro.
It's the height differential for me, in the sense that because Fury's so tall, it's an awkward proposition for him to try to get off that jab, because either you're going to give up a little bit of height and be within range of his backhand, or you're going to be like this and you're just going to spend the whole fight on the back foot, but then you may get outworked.
The MF are too big, bro. Too big.
I don't know, man. Valuev was big, but then again, Valuev couldn't move like Fury.
Yeah, he couldn't move like Fury.
So for context, this is like a 1-on-1 game between Jordan and Shaq.
I don't know, man. I could see him outmaneuvering Fury. I swear, I can see that. Like, I could see that.
But Fury also has the element where, what if he decides to move too? Like, I don't think Usyk has faced that at the heavyweight level either.
Listen,
and I don't think he can move better than Usyk, but if he can keep up with him, which I think he can, he is good enough to do that, then what's going to happen then? Then Usyk has to make another adjustment.
Listen, you get anomalies. Like AJ's fights with Usyk, like Derek Chisora said, you like either get knocked out or knock him out. And I think he went to try and do that second fight, but if Usyk don't land and hurt Fury, I don't see. He's a smaller guy. I don't see how he win. Like Cunningham put Fury on the canvas, bro. He put him on the canvas. Let's make no mistake about this.
Yeah.
Usyk has to hurt this guy. Not going to be able to just make Fury look stupid, bro.
Let's say this, Beats. Let's say this. And I know that I already know I'm going way out there, right? I'm way out there right now, right? I think Usyk is smart. And if Usyk is smart, you don't aim for Fury's face. You aim for his body.
Well,
I think Fury should do the same thing.
It's
It's easier to hit. And if you want to slow him down, if you want to, like, you know, he can take the head punches. Like, you know that. You know he can take the head punches. He got knocked down by Wilder 4 times. He got knocked down by Cunningham, by Pajcik. He can take the head punches. Can he take the body punches?
But Usyk's a headhunter.
I know he is, but barely.
You know what? Fury needs to do the same thing to Usyk, though. Instead of trying to get his head because he's so much smaller, go to that body.
I mean, that's honestly,
yeah, it really is a cat and mouse type match,
bro.
And also, like, Usyk, what worries me about Usyk though is that he's very reluctant on the inside. Like, it's not a bad inside game he has, but he does rely a lot on like getting hold of one of those arms and forcing the ref to like break it up again. So I don't know. I feel like Tyson Fury, if you pay attention to him, like, he really has developed in that area. Like, I know Wilder's not an 8-8 comparison, but he was fucking Wilder up on the inside. In that third fight, he was beating the shit out of Wilder in the inside.
Yeah, but Wilder's
that's true. But it's like Tyson never did that before until he went to Sugar Hill. Like, he was like 90% feints from the outside.
That is true. That's all he did. The whole Klitschko fight that's the whole fight, bro. You saw the whole Klitschko fight just now.
Y'all remember, like, in the third Wilder Fury fight, the round that Wilder had the most success, the first round, stabbing that jab to the body. Stabbing that jab to the body.
Look, honestly, think this. If you're smart, right, trying to hit Fury's head is a hard proposition because you got to get within striking distance of him to do it. His body is actually more accessible to you because it's a bigger target. You know, the same principle for any target. It's a bigger target that moves less. He can move his head. He can't move his stomach, you know?
Well, I think Usyk knows that. That's why he's calling him belly.
Yeah. I think I don't want to make him out to be a fucking deity, but I'm just looking at the guy. I'm like, I don't see a guy that's losing, bro.
Wilder tried to attack the body more in the third,
but it was working, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That first round, it was working. It's just he gassed out after that round.
Mm-hmm.
He was breathing with his mouth open in the second round.
Even the first knockdown, he set that up with a jab to the body, and like, see, that's what, like, somebody's got to get inside of Fury and start whacking him to that body, man, and whacking him, try and get out and whack him to that body, take some of the legs away from him. You know what I mean? And
exhaustion has to be like, if the proposition is, well, look, I can't win a decision, but at the same time, I don't hit hard enough to knock Fury out. What can beat him? Exhaustion.
Yeah.
Exhaustion.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like. And then Usyk, I think that Usyk does have the power to knock him out. Like, if you can hurt AJ, I think he has the accuracy and the speed to like really hurt Tyson.
Wow. I don't hear a lot of people say that, bro.
Damn. Yeah,
I mean, like,
that's a big statement what you made.
Tyson can be timed.
Based on what does he hurt Tyson Fury?
Well, Tyson can be timed. Like, he's really good, but he can be timed.
By Deontay Wilder, yeah.
Yes, and Steve Cunningham and a lot of other people.
But all right, here's another thing. I remember when Cunningham dropped him. He didn't seem hurt to me, though. He didn't see, like, his legs weren't spaghetti after that.
No, but all you need is one knockdown to change the title.
Fine. Yeah, I mean, like, every time Fury's been dropped,
he knew he had been hit, though.
Yeah. I mean, but every time Fury's gotten dropped, he's got up. He showed good recovery. He's due to his great recovery powers. He does.
Yeah,
he does.
I don't think it's not so much about hurting him, but just scoring the knockdowns to win the fight.
That's fair.
Usyk is probably the most accurate puncher that he's faced ever since Klitschko, probably.
Yeah, and Klitschko didn't want to take any chances. I feel like
remember one thing though. When Fury gets knocked down, when he comes back better.
He does. After Cunningham knocked him down, you saw what happened. He went after his ass. Like, man, fuck this boxing shit.
I gotta fight this man.
Yeah.
Fuck this boxing shit. I need to fuck you up, and he did, and it worked. You know, like, you big man, fight him big.
It worked, but Usyk has the legs to like.
Like, see, the thing is, though, right? All Usyk has to do is win. He doesn't have to look good. All he has to do is win. And here's the thing with Usyk, right? You look at, like, okay, when he fought the first guy at heavyweight, Witherspoon, think, man, no way you beat AJ. You get knocked out in 7.
Yeah.
You went on to beat him twice. And you look at the Chisora fight, you think, no way you beat these guys. Like, you know,
Yeah.
look how Chisora performed against Fury. You know what I mean? There's no, but I like Usyk is a bit of a chameleon. You know what I mean? He'll do whatever it takes to win. So you can't really judge Usyk by what you see.
Exactly.
He rises to the level of his opponent.
Because
he did not look like that against those
and
other guys.
Beats, that's kind of what I mean. That everything we've seen from him so far may have absolutely nothing to do with how he chooses to fight Fury. Like the shit from the AJ fight, just all of it. None of that shit has anything to do with what he's about to do, because this is for Fury, and Fury is different. So I got to do something different.
Here's the thing. If you tell people this, they'll laugh. But AJ's faster than Fury.
I believe that.
And he has faster hands.
Actually, a lot faster. When's the last time you tell me when Fury threw 3 uppercuts on the bounce on the can't do it
because he has long arms. It's gonna take a while to have him to bring him back home.
There you go.
Yeah, but I think that what separates, like, I do think he has quicker hands, but I think that Fury has quicker feet than AJ. So I think that's what people confuse. No, bro, he does have quicker feet than AJ.
What, Fury can move around the ring like AJ did against Ruiz? No, not now.
I disagree. I'm gonna go with Julio on that one. I do think Fury has faster feet. I don't think he has faster hands, though. It's just that he has long arms, so that the punch don't have to travel far. It looks fast because the punch don't have to travel far. That's what I think. I do think AJ has faster hands than Fury, but not faster feet. I don't think that.
And the thing is that recently Tyson hasn't been using his legs. He's been getting hit a lot more because he's committing more to his offense.
Man. He's a little stationary.
No, but he has been getting hit more, and I think that Usyk works to Usyk's advantage.
I don't know. It's a good fight, man. I saw Nesta Gibbs of the Boxing Voice. He said he wasn't excited about the fight, man.
I don't care what he likes.
Bro.
He's not excited by Fury Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck.
He said that?
Yeah, he said that.
I wasn't excited when he fought King.
What was the reasoning behind that?
Look, honestly, what I got from what I saw, the video clip, was that he's just not high on Usyk, you know, and because it's Usyk, he's not really high on the fight.
I said that, but see, I was saying Usyk is very technically a genius, but see, like the Klitschko's weren't popular. There's something about the Eastern European style that just doesn't click.
It's robotic.
For the westernized boxing fans who follow heavyweight, but it just don't click.
Yeah, it's robotic. Like that Soviet style was designed to win like amateur bouts.
Right.
You know, don't give me
criticize
wrong.
Usyk all you want. Criticize Usyk all you want. Guess what he hasn't done? He hasn't lost.
Nope. If he had Klitschko's power, though, he'd be a superstar because his style is entertaining.
You know what? I respect Usyk. Don't get me wrong when I say this, but he came along and threw a monkey wrench in the deal because we were about to get Fury and AJ, and he derailed
the apple cart. He upset that shit.
He did, though. He did. He fucked that up.
Yeah, that's the one thing that he annoyed me with. I mean, again, I don't dislike him, but it annoyed me because I wanted to see Fury and AJ fight before that. You know, he came along and bam, and it's like, shit.
I mean, it's up to them to do the deal. You know, my understanding is that the way the Saudis negotiate, they don't do one contract. They do like, this is your deal and this is your deal, which may be completely different. And where they're at now, Fury has to agree to the deal that Usyk's end of it is done. He's happy. His end of it is done. Now they're just waiting on Fury.
It's the mental strength of Usyk, though. He might be one of the most mentally strong fighters ever.
He's a Capricorn, Beats.
He's like Terrence, man.
Yeah, one of your people, bro.
Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Hopkins, Jones Jr., Trinidad, Lloyd Patterson, Customato. You know what I'm saying?
Is Butter Capricorn? He's not, huh?
Who? Buddy McGirt is Capricorn.
I mean, but Terrence Crawford, Terrence Crawford, he ain't, is he?
No, it's a Libra.
Price was a Capricorn. Born December 25th. He was a Capricorn.
Nobody knows exactly when
I know when he was born.
No, he was
December
You
25th.
delivered him.
He was actually born on April
Jules
Fool's
delivered
Day.
him.
You just you want him to be like an Aries or some shit. The fucking Capricorn. Bro,
Hey,
Christopher
man,
don't
why-
have a birthday.
is
Hey,
this
Jules,
fight gonna,
why-
are we
why-
gonna get the fight?
Why,
Why,
Miss-
like Bob 2 weeks ago said that he would get
That is
it.
why, hey man, why the missus trying to throw salt in your shit, man?
Where's the Saudis at? Where's the announcement, Bob?
Capricorns and Aries are like this.
Capricorn.
Is your wife Aries?
Nice.
No wonder.
Don't trust them Libras, man.
Because
Them dirty
I rise
Libras.
to the top and you stay at the base of the
What do you
mountain.
mean dirty Libra, man? I'm a Libra, right?
Libras ain't shit, bro.
Uh oh. Watch out.
Burns earth. Thank you.
That's
Man,
bull.
fuck horoscopes
Uh-oh,
anyway.
watch out.
I'm gonna touch your butt later.
Don't play.
It's Aries Nation.
But on some real shit, Beats makes a good point. Frank has been saying that this week is gonna be it. This week is gonna be in.
Nothing yet.
It's Monday.
Yeah, then when are we gonna get an announcement from Bob?
He been saying that shit for 2 weeks. No cap. 2 weeks. It's gonna
Meanwhile,
be this week.
Matchroom, they just dropped it right there, bam, on Twitter, bam. Got your
Well,
fight.
why
Beats,
didn't
Beats, can I ask
Usyk
you?
get
Beats?
any deadlines? I want to know why Usyk never got any deadlines.
You wanted to ask me a question? Someone wants to ask me a question?
Yeah, your Beats. Is Jay? I want to ask you something. Who you got in Bivol Beterbiev? I don't think I heard your take on that. Or how you see the fight going?
After watching Bivol, I think Beterbiev has got maybe 2 good fights. I don't think Bivol really wants to fight yet.
Really?
I don't think he wants to fight.
I think it's the other way, Beats. Better Beef said something that disturbed me. He said, "Yeah, I want undisputed, but if I don't get it, I'm not going to cry about it."
Oh, snap.
He has been moving funny.
Yeah.
He did leave Matchroom.
Now, and I'm going to say this. This is let me just play it out for you and just tell me what you think. You know, Better Beef was already with Matchroom before Bivol got there.
Yeah.
When Bivol got there, he left. It was after Bivol
that
got
was a
there.
strange decision.
He left.
Oh,
And I want to credit Julio because Julio did make a good point when we talked about this before, that maybe he left because the big fights or what he perceived as big fights and more belts were at Top Rank, which, you know what? I could understand that. I can understand if you feel that Top Rank has more fighters for you to fight. But then I look at this and where has all the resistance for this fight been coming from?
Top Rank.
Bob been pouring cold water on this fight since 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Bivol went to the Russian, before all this shit with Russia and Ukraine kicked off, Bivol went to the Russians. Like he was trying to do a thing with World of Boxing. Let them pay for the fight. Fuck it. If Top Rank is not interested, let World of Boxing pay for the fight. And
Let
that's
the Russian Copper Company do that fight too.
What they don't know is that he went to Top Rank and he said Top Rank said they weren't interested. A week later, Bob said, "Yeah, we're not interested. That fight is." So I'm like, maybe it's Better Beef that doesn't want this fight because the ball's in your court right now. I see the game that they're playing with the WBC, and I swear to God, it's a fucking game. The ball is in your court. Callum Smith is busy. He is. He's fighting in March. He's busy. So if you want Bivol, now is the time.
There was no reason whatsoever that this fight should not happen next.
And I believe that he's playing with fire because I think that Callum Smith has a better chance than people are giving him in that fight.
Only if he can get off the catch and counter hook.
He can't fight. He can't fight inside well enough to beat my guy.
That's the point that I'm making, Beats, that I don't think for a second Callum is going to open up at all on the inside to shoot that hook. I think he's going to try to keep him at the end of the jab, and he's going to get backed into the ropes and beat up just like he got beat up by Canelo.
He
by
has a really good catch hook, though. He has a good catch hook.
But that's why I like it could be more painful than the Canelo fight. This one, man. Because listen,
you can't afford to have more filler fights. I'm sorry.
Callum good from the outside, but if he's got like Yard done well, but look, trench warfare.
Yeah, Yard has the style.
Callum can't fight like that. Callum can't fight.
Yard has the like, and I said this 100 times. Even though Yard don't have the experience, He does have the
He
style.
does, but I
yeah.
think Callum has some of those qualities, and his fundamentals are a lot better than Anthony Yards. He
You
doesn't
watch
drop
the
his
John
fucking
Ryder fight.
hands.
You have to watch the John Ryder fight, bro.
Yeah,
That
but
was
yeah,
a
I
fight,
told
man.
Mirage this, and like I don't think you can do that comparison because John Ryder is like 5'8", 5'7". Like Better Beef is gonna be looking
Callum
at
is
him in the eye.
6'4", 6'3".
Yeah, Better
bro.
Beef. There's a difference between 5'8" and 6'3" and 6'1" and 6'3", though.
I'll
Like,
concede this. The only thing that about Better Beef in that fight that I don't like is he does have that Soviet style where the torso doesn't move, you know? So I could see because Callum is, pause, because he's very long, he could get off a right hand and it could find him. It could find him. Do I trust it to find him? No. Because if it was about that, Joe would have nailed him. When you shot that jab, that long jab, what'd he do? Right hand over the top.
I decided, okay, let me back up. Whap counter. Walk you into a shot.
What I see, he's going to be very cat and mouse for a second. He'll double, triple up the jab, put him on the ropes, and let him go. That's what I see.
Because the thing is, because when you're under artillery,
even against Border Elite, Callum was getting lit up. That guy was lighting him up.
Yep, that was a fight for as long as it lasted.
Yeah,
if you can't, it's like he couldn't manage the distance with Canelo. Pass, okay, fine, but you couldn't manage the distance with John Ryder either. Different proposition because he's a southpaw. They're all the same. It was a smaller target with a lower center of gravity. You couldn't manage the distance with either of them. Right. But you're going to manage it with Better Beef, who hits harder than them.
Yeah,
gives you more to worry about.
Because if Artur gets with the one pattern I noticed, when he gets you on the ropes and he starts just unloading salvos or punches, all his opponents do is show up and they don't throw counters. But the most part, when they do throw, nothing lands because he's able to see what's coming. And
then Callum is 6'3". He's got that long torso. The body is there, bro.
Right.
The ribs are there, bro.
Chop that wood.
I can't see. I honestly think, look, Anthony, he did good. He had the right style for the job. He did. He just didn't have the right experience.
Yep.
But he had the right style for it. He did. Callum with his straight punches, and I was watching him earlier to kind of see what you were saying, that he does have a nice little short left hook on the inside, but that was with Bowder League, who can't punch.
Right.
He's not gonna fucking open up on Artur on the inside. He's not fucking crazy. He didn't want to open up on Canelo on the inside. He's gonna open up on Artur.
But man, he did look devastating against Castillo. Castillo took
did. But which was the punch? The long right hand from the outside. And I get it that this dude, all these Soviet guys, with the exception of Bivol, which is what I think makes him special. Bivol actually bends at the waist and swivels a bit. All these other Soviet guys, man, Kovalev, Vozdik, Artur, their torsos really don't move. They're just a little bit, just a little bit, but they don't really bend at the waist and change levels that much. Bivol actually does that, which is novel because most of those Soviet guys don't do that. Your Postals, they really don't do that.
He's a lot more fluid than all those guys.
Also, who's the guy Calvin's fighting?
Bro, I never even heard that guy.
I didn't even know. I don't know who that guy is either. I never heard of him either. Like, I guess it's just another tune-up for him or something.
I gotta look him up when I do a video about this shit because I don't fucking know that guy. I thought he was gonna fight Scully or somebody.
We need that fight this year, man. I mean, like we
do. It's now or never. It needs to happen this year.
The shit is, this the other thing. There's another play in play. Now, motherfucking Jean Pascal has jumped into bed with Yvonne Michelle, right? That's the lead promoter for the fight in Canada, where Artur is based out of.
Be a big fight there.
Pascal versus Better Beef. It's not huge. It's not a huge fight, but it's a decent sized fight in Canada. Yes,
the Canadian boxing. Yeah,
you know what it is. They don't trust two Eastern Europeans to sell, man.
They don't. Which is why I feel they should just give the fight to Eddie. He can get them the Saudi money.
Bro,
give it to him.
Such a fucking horse's ass, man.
Just give it to him, bro. You know what I mean? Just like be real. Your fighter is 38. You're not going to tell me he's going to make more money fighting fucking Callum Smith and John Pascal. Eddie could get him some money, bro. Do right by him, bro.
You see, Bob don't care if any fight is boring. He cares if
Yeah,
they can
get him
bring fucking bums on the seats and sell
Get him a
pay-per-view.
few
That's what he's
paydays and let
saying.
him waltz off into the sunset after that, man. Jeez.
It's because of the Vosdick fight, Beats. That's why.
Yeah.
They did that shit in Philly. And look, that was a great fight. Like, I'm not knocking Top Rank. That was a great fight. But that shit didn't get watched, bro. It was on ESPN, and I can't remember what the numbers were, but it was like, I was like, damn.
They were low. They were low.
They were low, bro.
They were
like
low.
for ESPN, they were low. Like,
damn. Wait, crack 2-3 million, maybe? Yes.
No, it wasn't a million, bro.
Oh no.
It was only a few 100,000. And I feel like, the reason he liked that is because of that fight. That was a great fight. It was a unification match. It was fun to watch. Everything was good, but people didn't care. Why? It's 2 Eastern Euros, bro.
Yeah. Bob's a number cruncher. But
for that same reason, I feel, look, bro, be real. You're not going to turn Artur into Julio Iglesias in America. You not. Like, be real, bro. You not. You done had him for 4 or 5 years. He not going to be it. 2, you're not going to turn him that in the UK either. So be real. If you can't turn him into nothing, cut him loose. He's expensive. Or he could be. Cut him loose. All right, go. You want to fight B-Ball? Go ahead.
By the way, Beat, so was B-Ball your pick? But we got a little lost in the sauce.
A pick. I prefer Beterbiev to watch, but I can't base it. But Bivol probably a lot fresher, man. Probably a lot fresher. Probably a lot better tactically than Yard. Bivol, yeah, I pick Bivol. I pick Bivol reluctantly.
Got you.
Let me say this: if I'm Bob, I call Eddie. Yo, Eddie, check the shit. I'll send you Artur, but you got to send me somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Send me Joe Cordina.
Quid pro quo.
He's fighting Rachmanov.
Not quid pro quo. He's not trying to fuck Eddie.
He's fighting Rachmanov.
Bro, Joe Cordina versus
Eddie.
Joe Cordina versus Emmanuel
trying to
Navarrete
fuck
would be a
him.
great fight.
But being real, if it's me, I'm like, okay, look, and the other Artur's 38?
38,
It's
yeah.
like, dog, I'll send them to you, but on the condition you got to send me somebody. I'm sending you a unified champion that's unbeaten.
Bro, the winner of Cordina Rachmanov versus the winner of Navarrete Valdez.
Boom.
I'll tell you what, if Joe's hand's good, he could unify the division.
That's a great fight. I actually think
I
Rachmanov.
think he's gonna knock out Rachmanov.
I think Rachmanov, he fights very similar to Beterbiev, actually. If you watch that
I think Joe's the number 130 pounder.
Yeah.
Right now? No, wait a minute. Yeah. No. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I know that Emmanuel looked bad, and I'm with y'all. I am with y'all. But the adjustment that he has to make is really not a big one. It's not a huge adjustment.
Yeah, but I don't think he gets past Oscar.
True, right. Why did I forget? You
No. You were on the right track. You're on the right track.
Oscar beat him.
Tell you something. I was right
no, but if I got to edge it, I do have. I've always had Oscar beating him.
I mean, but I wouldn't underestimate Navios. Like he had a bad night. He had like this was a wake up call for him. I think.
I can't wait to be right about this.
Lightweight. He should have tied up the division, then moved up Stevenson.
The shit is that he outgrew it, bro. He outgrew it,
bro.
It didn't make sense to keep making it.
Navarrete, he goes out like Burchell. Calling it right now.
I'm like that. Been
Same
my
punch.
thing.
I think Valdez goes out like Burchell.
No,
I'm gonna say this. The main problem that Burchell now has at 130 pounds, at 2'2" and 2'6", he was paused long enough to hit the little guy from the outside coming in. Little guy can't even do nothing because he do a lot of shit that you're not supposed to do. He literally leans right over his lead foot. He literally lunges when he throws punches and shit like that. And he can get away with that with them guys at 2'2" and 2'6". But what he found out with Liam Wilson is you'll get the shit counted out of you if you do that shit up here because we ain't little up here. You used to being big.
His physique don't look very strong at that weight limit either.
Looks soft in the body in that fight.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a skinny dad bod.
No, he did though. Like that was a dad bod.
He just got heavy hands, man.
The main
It's
thing
like-
that was working for Liam, which I thought, look, it was a stroke of genius due to its simplicity. Don't fucking punch with this guy. Don't get into a pissing contest. When he lunges, counter his ass. Because he's going to. That's all he does. And, you know, I think that what worked against Liam, what caught up to him is he's just not used to that pace at that level. You know, the dude was like 10-1 going
He
into
had like 12, 13, 11, 13, 12 fights, something like that.
yeah, like he just didn't have the experience. But what he was doing, like, yeah, bro, why would you punch with Navarrete, bro? For what? Fuck that.
Oh, but you guys that's the mistake you guys are making, though. You're basing Valdez's chances off one performance. He's always getting into firefights, dog. Like, he's always throwing that shit out the window and getting into firefights against a guy, and he's gonna do that eventually against
get
a guy
into a
who's mastered
firefight
that.
with Burchell.
He didn't.
That's
he
what I'm
can
saying,
box
though. That was one performance. He got into a fucking slugfest with Scott Quigg, dog.
You think that Eddie Reynoso is gonna have him getting into a firefight with
No,
Navarrete?
Eddie's not, but he is. That's just who he is. He's done
But
it.
he didn't do it
every
with
style.
Burchell. Everyone thought he was gonna do that. With
But that's
I thought he was gonna get
one
fucking
fight.
killed. I thought he was gonna get fucking killed.
I think the only thing that came up with Navarrete into this weight that mattered was the power, and I think that Valdez is gonna open up. He's gonna get hurt, and he's gonna try to make it to a fight that the type of fight that Navarrete is used to winning, and I think that Navarrete can win that.
If Liam Wilson at 10-1 can hurt Navarrete, you don't think Oscar can do a little better?
Yes.
Okay, let me say this: the Geeks fight, the Squid Geeks fight, says all for me, because what's the difference between Geeks and Burchell? It's because Geeks stays at middle range to exchange punches. He does it all the time with Carl Frampton, with Oscar Martinez, with everyone. But Burchell, he got hurt, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm going all in." He was launching into him. He was launching into Oscar to try to catch something big, and that's probably what Navarrete is going to do.
Eso lo que él hace.
That's exactly what Navarrete
does, bro. Every fight. I'm just telling you the difference between now and before. At 122, because you had so much height and so much reach, you elicited a lot of respect out of those smaller fighters. They can't hit you because they smaller than you. But now you at this weight, and what you see is your lunging and leaning over your lead foot. That's gonna get your ass knocked out. That's what's gonna happen.
I see it going where maybe Oscar gets hurt early on, and he looks like he's going to be taken out, and Navarrete starts, lunging in, trying to do it, and ends up getting caught and ragdolled by him.
All right, Penda, I'm with you. It's true. Adam Lopez did drop Oscar Valdez.
Genesis Savannah also dropped him.
But Liam Wilson just dropped Navarrete.
I mean, come on, man. Who was Liam Wilson, dog?
Yeah,
I can see Nava like imposing as well on Valdez, but like one of the things that it was important for Valdez to do against Burchell, and we have to use in this proper context because he knows how to fight bigger fighters. He knows how to take away the pocket from him while this guy kept fucking crashing it. That's what Nava likes to do. He likes to crash the pocket.
We could say this. Oscar got more experience with fighters like Navarrete than Navarrete has experience with fighters like Oscar. Don't forget Oscar's a fucking Olympian. Don't forget that. He ain't some guy. He's not some guy.
No, I think what's going to happen is that Oscar probably will hurt Navarrete, but I think Navarrete's going to eat it, and he's eventually going to drown him with all the pressure and activity. And Oscar's going to get into a dogfight, a shootout, and he's going to lose it. Because Navarrete's already mastered that shit. I think that's why Navarrete wants this fight.
Nah, bro. I think that's why Oscar wants this fight. That's what I think. They're like, bro, we know what you coming to do. We don't got to do a lot with you. We just have to counter you. We ain't got to do a whole lot with you.
Mm-hmm.
And we just saw that in the Liam Wilson fight. We just saw that.
And I'm gonna make the same.
Don't
the same
act
argument.
like Navarrete ain't been beat before either, because he has. He has.
Who did beat him?
Some guy.
Some guy.
I mean, the same assessment of his defense is the same as Fury. He got long arms, man. And you
He
get
came
counted,
out
man.
to
He
the
doesn't bring
ring
him
and
back
just
home.
said some guy.
Some fucking guy, bro. Some fucking guy
It
did some
was,
shit
it
to him.
was Mirage.
It was Mirage.
Yeah.
Started talking about Benavidez. Started talking about Benavidez, and I've already couldn't take no more. Round 3 TKO.
He stubborned him to death and made him pass out with a you know.
Real.
Yo, I
The
think
shit was that Mirage started talking about Benavidez, and then Chaim came in and started talking about Ben Davison being a weight bully. That's a good fucking fight, man. I really like that fight. Oscar's gonna take a tune-up though before you fight that dude.
I don't think he needs to. When's the
No,
last time
he
he
is
fought?
though.
He broke his back.
He broke his ribs from the back. He needs a tune-up fight.
God
He
damn.
broke his back. When did he break his back?
He said that he fell off of some shit, and then in sparring he got hit, and the back of his ribs broke.
Really?
What the fuck?
But he fell off Earl Spence's bike.
He's probably washing Errol's car,
How
and
the hell
Errol's.
do you break the back of your ribs in sparring though? That's like the most unusual injury ever.
I'm just telling you, he's washing Errol's car, and you know Errol in cars, bro. Something going on.
They don't like each other.
Yeah,
probably
that's the best rivalry in boxing right
He
now.
was doing well against Navarrete at the start, and then he got Isaac, and then he lost his weight. You know what I mean? So I see Oscar. You know what I mean? Like getting a game plan together. And
A lot about Navarrete doesn't change fight by fight. It's not a
Yeah.
hard fighter to understand. He fights every fight the same way. And the other thing is that lesser fighters than Oscar have made him look human. The Baez kid, he had him looking crazy. The one before this fight, he had him looking crazy. The other kid that fought Shakur, what's his name? The talk he didn't fight Conceição.
Christopher Diaz.
No. What's this kid, man? Like
Joet.
Joet Gonzalez.
Oh, Joet, yeah.
Joet had him.
Joet held his own.
He beat the shit out of Joet though.
I'm not going. No, he messed his face up a little bit, but don't act like Joet was not getting it in. He was getting it in, bro.
I think it's gonna be Barrera Morales 1.
Bro.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Navarrete's gonna drown him.
Bro, I think you like Navarrete. That's cool.
No,
Listen,
you like Navarrete.
listen,
I think he. For me at 130, the guy's Joe Cordina. I think Joe Cordina would fuck Navarrete up.
Bro, I like Joe, but I don't know that he's seen that kind of pressure before. I need to see that, and
He'll
that's
find out.
That's what the Rakhimov fight is going to, because Rakhimov is a pressure guy. That's what he is. He throw punches and bunches. He stalk you, walk you down. That's what he is. He's a pressure guy.
Too basic. It's too basic for Joe.
But that's what I was. That he's a very crude pressure fighter. Like he's not like
the only reason my kid from Manchester, like I don't know if the mental pressure or the lactic acid started building up, but he had to fight one, man.
I think that was just Zelfa. I think Zelfa just shit the bed. Like he should have won that fight.
Yes, he did, because he knew he could hurt him. He knew he could
hurt him, and he couldn't put the rubber stamp on that fight, man.
Instead of stepping into his punches, he's still on the back foot, still moving lateral. Like, bro, you just dropped this dude.
You got him hurt. Like, get rid of him.
Yeah,
he's like, that's true though about his pressure. He is like a Family Dollar better beef, in my opinion.
Bro, I don't even think he. I think he's a store brand Lemieux.
Damn.
Yeah, I see Joe, like, although it was a good fight with JoJo, they were just hurling at each other. That was a good fight.
That was a good fight. Like, that was a good action fight. It wasn't a whole lot of nuance or subtleties to that, but it was a good fight to watch. Joe is a tough dude, man. Zepeda hit him with every kind of punch that you can hit somebody with, and he wouldn't go down or go away. Like, yo, that's a tough fucking dude.
Yeah, he's tough. Yeah, JoJo tough, bro. JoJo tough.
Makes me wonder if he can be stopped.
I'm starting to wonder. Like, bro, I really thought William was going to stop him.
I like JoJo, man.
I like JoJo too. Give me JoJo versus Isaac Cruz. Let's start the campaign.
Oh, hell yeah.
I want Joseph Diaz to get stopped, bro. Before the aliens
he be taking the fights, man. He do, unlike Ryan and everybody else.
I need him to
He
get
don't gotta
stopped.
go to jail for what he did, but he'll get stopped.
JoJo would give Tank a tough fight, man. JoJo would give Tank a
Let's
hard
sign JoJo up to Slap League. Let's see if he can get knocked out.
Bro, JoJo will win that shit, bro.
If JoJo Diaz was to fight Tank, that would be one of Tank's best opponents.
If you put JoJo in the slap league, the only thing that's going to change is the color of his hair every time you slap him. It'll turn blue, then blonde, then brown.
Kind of like Olive Oil in that Popeye episode when she was boxing that chick. Every time she got hit, her hairdo would change.
Nah.
Bro,
Could Amir Khan win slap league?
if JoJo joins fight like slap league, they're gonna use his head like a fucking Simon. You know, remember that toy?
Bro, why is everybody so upset about the slap league?
You know,
Because it's not.
I get why people don't like it.
You know what's
It's
stupid?
like-
If I'm being honest, it's kinda
people are
stupid.
starting to get that, like, yo, are we a joke? Is America a joke? Is this really a sport?
Leave that power slap shit alone. Leave
There's
it
like
alone.
no
Let
defense.
them-
I don't
that
Like
shit
Eddie
is
Hearn.
brilliant.
Eddie Hearn made a great argument because he's like, yeah, you're just taking in boxing that would be frowned upon, just taking clean shots. You
No,
would be
man.
begging a ref to
Leave
stop. the
power
fight.
slap alone. Leave
I
it.
like that shit. I
I love it, man.
I like.
Oh,
I don't know what it is about. It's better than a punch. It's a slap. It's a slap,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
did you guys
Just
see
slap
that one
the
dude who got slapped in the face and his fucking face blew up like swollen?
It's like he
Yeah,
got
his
stung.
face
It's like,
was
like he got
drooping.
like he got stung by a jellyfish or something.
It's
man,
just
yeah.
something about. It's just like I do understand the argument that basically it's who said it. I think it was Charles Sonnen that said it. That it's not like you could go train for this. You actually can't. There are no gyms where you go to get the shit slapped out of you.
That's what I'm saying.
For shit wages, bro.
Well, like what you just gonna go and you
I'm
just
there
gonna
to
get slapped
I'm
all
there to
day?
get slapped
No,
for $2.
Espinoza
fuck
when
outta
he gets the wrong coffee for Al
You're
Heyman.
Sado, really. You know what I mean? You're gonna be a Sado. Sado masochist.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, like
you gotta be safe to
BDSM
enjoy some shit like
enthusiasts,
that.
they can train for this.
yeah, and that does encompass the argument.
You slapped in the side of your head. Train what?
Yeah, like there's nothing that because you can't slip it. You're
Bro,
not
the only
trying to slip
advantage you gotta have in that league is size.
Yeah, like you have to have like a slap fetish to be able to like train for this. Like Oscar De La Hoya could compete here.
No, man.
Like it's not something that you can prepare yourself for because the whole sport, which is what encompasses the argument that it's not a sport because you can't train for it. Even if you could train your slaps, which you probably can, you can work on your form, but you can't work on taking the slap. You got to take the slap.
Also, you're not allowed to though because there's like no defense involved. You're literally just supposed to take a fucking slap to the face.
That shit is brilliant.
And then these guys are getting paid like $4,000. Like
Do you think Francis Ngannou got good slap resistance?
No. Slap
resistance.
Bro. How do you like how do you even gauge whether or not you won a round? The number of
Yeah. And if you want to get paid $4,000, just go on a PBC card.
Play scratch offs, bro. Shit, there's easier ways to get 4 racks.
How does that shit even scored? It's like if you score a knockdown, do you like get a point? If by
I
slapping
think
somebody,
if you knock the guy down, you win, right?
Okay, so as long as you stay on your feet, then like it goes on or it continues.
The only thing I know is Keith Thurman can take a slap to the body.
If who can take a slap to the body?
Keith Thurman.
Oh,
if they slap him to the body, all his hair gonna fall off. I don't feel good, Mr. Heyman. I don't feel good, Mr. Heyman.
Yeah, I feel like if I poke him in the body, he's gonna take a shit.
That shit is brilliant, man. That shit is brilliant.
I mean, I enjoy it, but it's because, and I don't look at it as a sport. I would watch, when I watch it, when I look for clips of it, it's for the same reason I look for clips of people getting slapped. I just want to see somebody get the shit slapped out of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. I just want to see someone get slapped.
It's like cat videos. Like, bro, I'm not watching a cat video for the cinematography. I just want to see the dumb shit that the cat do.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I just enjoy that shit. So when it's slap videos, man, I'm not here for a sport.
How did it go? You toss a coin to see who goes first. That what happens or something?
I guess.
I ain't going first, bro.
Bro, it's not look, it's not an argument that shit is not a sport. It's not a sport. It's not a sport. But because it's not a sport, you don't like people saying that shit gets slapped out of them? I do.
Yeah, it's brilliant, man.
It's fucking wonderful, bro. Shit, if anything, I would prefer if social media influencers did that instead of boxing.
Oh, that would be great.
Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul in a slap off.
Tommy don't got the face for that shit, bro.
I'll pull out. He'll pull out again.
You could tell, you could tell, nah, son, you gonna puff up like a puffer fish, bro. He ain't got the face for that shit. But then again, how satisfying would it be to see somebody slap the shit out of Jake Paul?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, guys. I just can't. I can't get into it, man. I just don't find it entertaining.
I like it, man.
I prefer boxing, man.
I feel terrible because I know deep down the guy who just got the shit slapped out of him.
When I want to see a fight, I tune into a boxing match. But sometimes, yeah, I do want to see somebody get the shit slapped out of them.
Say you can't train.
I don't know.
You know what's funny is you're so
because I'm gonna watch the guy who just got the shit slapped out of him and be like, wow, he got paid $4,000 for that.
But
we're saying you can't train for it, right? How do you stand there and let someone slap you like because the natural reaction is I'm gonna weave that.
Yeah, because they say you lose, you get disqualified for that. If you don't stand there and take this fucking slap
left and right,
drug me up, man. They'd have to drug me up not to move, man.
I mean, maybe you could snort. Look, there's no drug testing. Snort some coke.
Yeah, I'm gonna train with Kel Brook.
I imagine after a certain amount of time, you get the nerves in your face deaden, and you don't feel shit.
I'm going into camp with David Benavidez.
Well, the real thing is, look, the only way that I could think of that you could prepare yourself for blunt force trauma like that is your neck, because that's the shock. No, that's your shock absorber.
Right.
The reason they get knocked out is because the brain jostles in the skull. So if you got a thick neck and if you can find a way, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Just do those.
Hey, Jules, I got one for you. Okay, the Three Stooges, right? Larry, he got slapped by Mo so many times you could crack him in the jaw and he wouldn't feel it.
Yeah, so they gotta condition their face.
So I got a question. Is anesthesia or Novocaine considered a performance-enhancing drug in slap fight?
I don't even think they got VADA testing. Why would they?
You ain't got no VADA testing for that.
Jules is right, bro. You just gotta snort an eighth of coke before you get on.
Yeah, just before the tournament, just fuck it, yo. Just powder your nose, bro, and get ready.
Y'all bouncing.
The Benavidez camp.
Start shadow boxing.
Nah, bro. I'm probably gonna do heroin.
I want to know how you stand there and let someone slap
heroin. Yeah.
How do you prepare yourself to do that?
I'm snorting a brick of fat.
I ain't letting no one take the side of my face off like that, man.
But that's, I guess, like there was this really fat guy. I think he's like the champion of that shit, and you can see why he do it, bro. His neck goes straight into it. He don't have a neck. His head goes straight into his shoulders.
No, you know what's the move? Molly. Take some Molly. Get slap in the face. Slap in the face really hard. You're gonna get bricked.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna the guy's gonna use Molly. He's gonna get the shit slapped out of him. The ref is gonna see his dick is hard and call it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if a slap fetish is on there?
Why is his dick hard?
Like a slap fetish, like someone who's in the BDSM, they just start having an orgasm mid fight.
Yeah, me again, please.
The ref,
yo, Ryan Garcia, get out of here.
The ref is like,
I'm not slapping you again if you make that sound. All right.
The ref is like, he said something about wanting to go to Dubai.
Yo, why are you wearing a ball gag? Is that even allowed? Is that even part of the rules?
Motherfucker going with a cock ring.
Fucking a ball gag and a gimp mask. Like, yo, that's not regulation.
Yo, this is not that. Yo, what is that? That's for the slap.
That's why I want to know. What made him get into that?
Well, no, I think it probably started out. Look, I remember when the clips of it were floating around. It was like a Russian thing, man. You know they got weird sports. Like I seen one shit they got. It's one guy fighting like 5 people. It's one guy in a cage. Like, bro, this is not a sport.
Oh yeah, Team MMA.
But it was 1 against 5. Like, bro,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not a sport. Like, what the fuck wrong with y'all? Like, y'all just
Pulling the
made
heater
his
out.
ass beat.
Nah, man, they practicing getting bum rushed.
Like that's not a sport, and that's not a sport. And I seen
Competitive jump.
yo, Drew, don't show nobody no cock ring, bro.
Oh, shut up.
No, but for real, like if motherfucker pop a Molly before that shit and they slap him, bro, the whole shit gonna get called off as soon as they see the camera gonna pan over right through his meat. Yo, why's his dick hard?
No,
I
heard nonsense talking. So, what do we know? What do we know? What do we know about Usyk? What do we know about Fury? We know nobody has been able to outthink him in there.
God, Polo's
He
here,
thinks
Bill.
faster than everybody he's fought up until Usyk.
Up until John McDermott.
No, what I'm saying is like the breaking down of how do I beat this guy? I'm able to outthink my guys quicker and make a decision faster.
I just honestly look, I can't put my finger on it, what he's gonna do. But I think Beats said it best. This dude is an enigma, bro. Everything that we've seen from him so far may have absolutely nothing to do with how he fights Fury, and that's how he wins.
Yeah, what got me was when like he pointed out, like, yeah, Usyk does fight to the level of his opponent. So
here's the thing, like that attributes to him. When he goes in there, he's fully present more than any other fighter that's fought him. That's why he hasn't been beaten.
And I said this too, Drew, that Fury doesn't seem up for this to me. Being undisputed don't matter to him. Is he gonna fight hard? Because I don't get the sense he cares about this shit.
The glory doesn't drive Fury the way it drives Usyk. For like we said, Jules, who's faced more base styles?
Usyk.
Who's got the better feet?
I think Usyk, to me.
Who's the better athlete?
To me, it's Usyk. Like in all those areas, the only thing I see that Fury has on Usyk is size. That's
size.
it.
And did someone say Fury's faster than him with the punches?
No, I don't think nobody said
Nobody
that.
said like no. And he has a
No, I'm talking about the AJ fight.
Every advantage just from purely boxing and athleticism.
I don't think Fury is a better boxer than Usyk.
Exactly. There's no metric based on his Olympic pedigree, who he's faced at cruiser.
Everything. Whenever we talk about this fight, it always ends the same way. That Fury is big. Yeah. Value level is big.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger don't mean better. Like we had that conversation when Chaim was saying about the size. I'm like, just because you're taller doesn't mean you're bigger or stronger or better.
Jamie McDonald was bigger than he knew he.
It's the Ali factor, isn't it? Like
but on the contrast, like I don't disagree, but also like what if I know that Fury's not like faster or a better boxer, but what if he's just good enough on that night? Like just good enough.
That's all he has to. Honestly, that's all he has to be.
Fury never wanted to fight Usyk. He was high on AJ.
Bro, you can tell. Yeah,
Fury.
that's a
Can I
fact. You can tell he wanted the AJ.
Can I say this and be honest with me? Were you impressed by the Fury you saw with Chisora?
Not really.
All right. Now I'm gonna write that off, and I'm gonna say, you know what? He didn't want to beat up on his man. Cool. Well, did he look impressive with Dillian?
No, everybody's saying that he's lost the step.
The finish was impressive.
No, and I'm not. Listen, they could get mad at me. They could talk about it on Twitter. I don't care. Yeah, you nailed him with the uppercut, and he was rattled by the uppercut. Like he was hurt, but you pushed him down.
Yeah, he did push.
You did push him down. Let's come on now. You did push him down though. You did.
You did. That's true.
For the last.
And I'm not saying that. See, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Dillian would have got up and won. I'm saying that I'm looking at you, and I don't. There's something that's not there.
No, you're right, Jules, because you say it all the time on this channel. Who could I put in a time machine that lives 24/7 like a fighter? Usyk, Crawford, Chocolatito, Inoue. Tyson ain't built for that long range. He don't live 24/7 like this is what I eat, sleep, and breathe.
I'll say, look. In other words, okay. The fighter that I see that is still sharp, I still see Usyk is sharp. There's just a quality to his movement, and I characterize it as sharpness. That's the best way I could wrap my mind around it. Fury doesn't look sharp. He didn't look sharp in the third Wilder fight. He didn't look sharp in the White fight. And maybe you wanted to take it easy on Derek. Maybe that's what it was. But I just know that you didn't. I didn't see nothing about you that was like.
No, but Jules, in that third Wilder fight, I'm just right quick. In the third Wilder fight, he never should have got dropped by Wilder like that. Even especially the first knockdown, he like walked right into that right hand. It's like, come on, bro. Like,
I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know. But I'm just saying, I've been looking at him, dog, and I'm just saying that
he's not himself. He's not as usual. It's like
it's not even that, fellas. The thing is, because he has such the physical advantages and his level of competence, nobody has been better in the ring than him. So he's been able to just win on the size and being the better athlete. He has not had to adjust, readjust, and like, fuck, this ain't working, that ain't working. He hasn't had to think more.
Let me say this to Polo. Polo, look, he didn't look sharp. No, I'm not knocking him. This conversation. I'm not saying, look, if you thought he looked sharp, cool. All I'm saying is beating Dillian or knocking Dillian out. Honestly, like Povetkin's knockout of Dillian more than Fury's. That was a clean knockout.
Yes.
Clean. No fuss, no muss, short uppercut, you out.
Yes, but it wasn't a better performance.
No, not a better performance.
I'll tell you, the last time Fury looked sharp from pillar to post was the second Wilder fight.
Yes.
That's it. That's literally. I agree with that.
On all cylinders, he was fully there. He had a mission. He wasn't going to stop him, and it was clear from the fucking first punch that landed. The man is on his game.
I don't disagree, but at the same time, people were saying the same thing about Usyk pre-AJ fights. They're like, okay, he kind of went through the gears with Chisora, and he was okay in his debut against that one dude. But like, he's a guy that rises to the level of his opponent. So I feel like, on the contrary, that's what makes this a 50-50 fight. Like, you can say the same thing about Fury.
Oh, I never agreed that it wasn't a 50-50 fight, but I can throw the Klitschko fight in there. The level of your competition is Klitschko, and you eke that win out by fucking the skin of your teeth by not trying to fight him.
The other thing is that, look, man, I don't want to shit on Fury just for shitting on him. I'm just saying that all this shit is about Wilder, bro. I just feel like, all this shit, the only reason motherfuckers think you that guy is because you beat a dude who can't box.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is, man,
Usyk does have the aura of a special fighter.
Like you see, like Ali when he fought Foreman, the two fights when you look at how he struggled with Frazier in two fights, he struggled with Norton, and Foreman wiped them out, and then Ali beat him. So you can't really look at Usyk's performance against Chisora. You can't, because he has immense confidence. He has immense confidence, man, and his championship rounds against AJ in the second fight, like I was gassing him up on Twitter, and people say, "Oh, AJ's crap." AJ, you guys don't know what you're talking about, man.
I hate how much AJ gets shit on beats. I was there for that.
That AJ was prepared for the 12-round duration,
and no other heavyweight does that to AJ.
And Usyk outlasted him.
Beats, even in the first fight when AJ answered the bell in that 9th round and fucking like, okay, maybe he might get him in 10, 11, 12. Usyk came back in that 10th like, nah, motherfucker, what's up?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I just don't think that Fury's strategy, there's primarily two strategies that people think he's going to employ, that he's either going to try to maul him like he mauled Wilder or box him like he boxed Dillian. And I could see Usyk doing okay in either scenario. You're not a better boxer than Usyk.
Yeah, like I don't think he can outbox. He can't outbox Usyk, but if he can box with him, then he'll always have a chance.
To measure Fury's, and that's where I laugh at everybody. You're measuring a guy that doesn't have to be athletic against. Wilder's got 2 left feet. Chisora's fucking slow as shit. Fucking
White's always slow as
fucking.
And he's a sucker for an uppercut.
He looks great. Like I love Floyd. Floyd was magic, but it was easy to look even more magic against flat-footed Latinos. That's what Fury's been fighting. Flat-footed dudes with no movement.
I just don't. It's just hard for me to imagine. And that, look, if he does it, great, whatever. But that's the appeal of the fight. That when I think about it, I'm like, bro, is Fury really gonna outmaneuver this guy? I don't know about that. You outmaneuver Wilder, who can't maneuver. Dillian, who's often off balance.
The Otto Wallin fight, there's another southpaw who had a bit of mobility.
You're not gonna
outmaneuver. The other thing, the Valine fight, I think is a real indictment. And maybe Lennox doesn't like this because he knows the guy. I'm just being honest, okay? Right? I saw Valine before the Fury fight. He is an unremarkable heavyweight. I'm sorry. I saw him before that fight, 2 fights, and I saw him after that fight with Brazil. That shit with Fury, I can't even explain. Like, bro, maybe Fury's just not he's a good fighter, yes, but he's not invincible because Valine was getting in his wheel.
Maybe southpaws are just his kryptonite.
See, here's the thing, man. What really pissed me off about Wilder and Fury and the moronic fan, they was acting like because they fought each other, they didn't have to do anything else after that. Like everyone was irrelevant to the division. But until Fury fights Usyk, he can't really say he's all this or some legend and stuff. He can't. Go fight Usyk. And we've got to see how it plays out. And if he makes it look easy, we'll have to give him his due.
Definitely. And I'm not going to, look, if he do some furious shit, of course I'm going to give him his props. I'm not a jackass. I'm just saying that leading up to this fight, I'm watching him. Usyk looked like he really want this fucking thing.
Yeah. And I give the same thing with Usyk. Both of them, great. Going to be Hall of Famers. But even whoever wins, I still can't put him in the top 10 heavyweights of all time because they don't have a fucking reign.
Nah, and we talked about this a couple of lives ago that let's say Usyk becomes undisputed, for example, 2-time undisputed. Great fighter, yes. Great heavyweight. Yeah.
And I say it like this. If he goes undisputed 2 times, I could put him in the top 10 to 15 pound for pound.
I could put him in the top 15. I'll put him, and he won't be high in either. Top 15.
No, I'm talking about differentiating pound for pound. I can't even put him in the top heavyweight 15 if he does.
In that top heavyweight bracket, in other words, you got guys like Holmes and Ali and Lewis and Lennox. It's like, and their whole thing is heavyweight shit. If we're rating top heavyweights, and it's like Usyk, what's your heavyweight, Ryan? Chaz Witherspoon, Derek Chisora, Joshua, and Fury. That's 4 fights. Well, 5.
One that cruiserweight was crazy though.
Because of the 2.
But no, that's only 4 fights, and that's only one. Okay,
he's 4 heavyweight title.
That'll only be Jules. That's only 2 title defenses to like Ali's 11, Joe Louis. You can't. That's not a run.
Yeah, like Vlad had 19. Larry had 21. Joe had 25.
Even Tyson had 6 defenses of undisputed. That's still a long run.
Do you know how fucking crazy it is? Joe Louis defending the goddamn title 25 times. That's fucking ludicrous, bro.
He went on a speed run.
That's there's a couple of bums in there, but I'm just saying, at least some bums in there though, bro. You fought as a heavyweight. Well, you fought 4 guys as a heavyweight. So do we call you a all-time great top 5, top 10? Nah, I can't.
No. I put him in top 10 pound for pound. I can't do heavyweight.
There you go. I would do that. They're like, was he a ATG? Oh, most definitely. Yes. The run at cruiser and the run at heavy. If you get it done, definitely an ATG. But in that top 10 heavyweight conversation, you telling me that this is better than Joe Lewis's resume, Lennox Lewis's resume? Nah, son. Nah, we got to think about that. Then Larry Holmes.
It's not even better than the competition Holyfield faced going up there.
Bro, like off the rip, I could think of 5 guys that like, bro, your resume as a heavyweight, it's not better than theirs. Your resume don't come close to Foreman's, Frazier's, Ali's. I don't think his resume. Well, Norton is contentious. Norton won some fights.
You can make an argument there.
Hey, speaking of Foreman, did you guys see the trailer for the Foreman movie?
Oh yeah, I did, bro. But everybody's giving it mixed reviews. This is my biggest hang-up, country. Foreman's story is too long to fit into a 3-hour movie. If it even is 3 hours. To me, they needed to break that into 2 movies.
Right. Do a miniseries.
Because if you can't not talk about George and not talk about the grill.
Well, not they talk about the grill in passing, but
I'm just saying in general,
like
it's
the
too
early
long.
part of his career, and the second movie is like the comeback.
It's gonna be hard for you to make the significant moments because we as boxing fans know that there was moments that was significant. I don't even know if the Holyfield fight is gonna be in it, but the Holyfield fight was when people took him seriously. Was the Holyfield fight.
Oh,
Before he fought Michael Mora. Before that, they just thought, oh, he playing. Like, people didn't really think he's gonna win the title, but how he performed against Holyfield was what made people like, nah, he got some shit.
That was a low key classic fight, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was.
Dude,
I had the game on Sega Genesis.
I'm surprised that Holyfield, didn't get knocked out, man. Because even Holyfield was saying, like, every time Foreman hit you, it hurt real bad.
I mean, low key, I think Holyfield, low key said in hindsight, one of the hardest punches he was ever hit with was a punch by Foreman in that fight.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
They got him on video saying he was the hardest puncher.
So I'm like, and those moments like that, remember that Foreman's comeback, and I don't know what creative liberties they're going to take for the film, but Foreman's comeback wasn't a wham bam. He fought a lot of guys en route to the title.
Yes, he did.
When he came back. It wasn't just like he had 2 fights and then he's fighting for, you know what I mean? Like, nah, it wasn't
Do you guys remember that time when Foreman fought like 4 or 5 guys from the audience?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
it was on TV,
but
man.
Here's I'm gonna say this real quick. I hope they include, like, I hope they have a Tommy Morrison character in the film, because that fight with him was kind of a momentum stopper, and people wrote Foreman off after that fight. Remember?
Yeah, the Morrison fight. It's not going, like, that's what I'm saying. The Morrison fight, the Holyfield fight, and the Shannon Briggs fight. I think he retired on that fight.
I don't knock Foreman too much for the time, because Tommy he chose to box in that fight instead of slug.
Yeah,
that's what really, and that's kind of what that's pretty much what won him the fight, more or less. He didn't trade with Foreman. If he did, probably it would have ended a different way,
And just in a storytelling sense, how do you fit all that and make it matter in a 3-hour movie?
I think
I think the way they could do it is that just dedicate like the first 30 minutes to his initial run where he fights Ali, and then the rest of the movie is just his redemption story.
I guess, because you don't have to explain Ali to the audience. You don't really have to explain that.
You shouldn't have to.
But I'll tell you what does need to be explained, and it does look like they did it, that he was a menacing figure in the sport. He was a menacing guy. He's fucking Big George Foreman, bro. He's a monster. He's a fucking monster.
Yep.
You got to get that across, that public perception of George in the first phase, very different from public perception in the second phase.
Hey, Jules, you got a request from Jose Padilla.
What are you saying? Can you guys give us viewers the option to vote to kick someone off the chat? That dude Hyam has a tendency to hijack chats for the sake of just arguing without wanting to come to an agreement. Yeah,
See what Hyam's doing? See this?
I mean, I think he's a smart enough dude, but it's just like, yeah, man, he just likes to he likes to argue.
When he get into his speeches,
contrarian. He's a contrarian. He's a contrarian.
He seems like a smart guy and a good guy, but
he's a good guy. I like
he knows a lot about boxing for sure.
He cold, but sometimes he just be going way overboard.
It's just the arguments. The arguments is like, bro, this is not an argument worth having.
Right.
It's not. Like, you saying that in a nutshell, Daniel Dubois gives Frank all this leverage, and Daniel could lose tomorrow, bro. That's where he's at. He almost lost to Kevin Lorena.
Yeah.
He almost lost to that guy. He could lose tomorrow. And then what happens to the argument?
Kelvin says he comes to the panel drunk. That's why.
Well, that too. Now, on that note, I'm gonna go. I'm going to shut it down right now. I'm gonna go rub some booty skin. I'll holler at y'all.
All right, have fun, Jules.
Jules.
All right, fellas. All right, Jules. Have a good night. Thanks for having me on.